Condition orange. Situation delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal. More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. Think for yourself. Question authority. This code has been compromised. This code has been compromised.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker. This is the Gematria Effect. I'm trying out something new tonight, and I'm hearing some feedback, so I'm worried the experiment is not going to work. Welcome back, Truth Seeker. This is the Gematria Effect. Yeah, this might be trouble here. Let me see if I can figure out how to overcome these obstacles. Peeking in the chat. What I'm doing tonight that's different is I'm running this on YouTube Live at the same time. Supposedly as a radio network, Truth Frequency Radio, we're trying to get on YouTube streaming at the same time. There's some hosts that really don't want to do it. They don't want to put their face on the screen. Obviously, I don't mind doing that. But I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve here and figure out how to run this right. All that feedback I just heard at the beginning shows me that there's something I need to tweak. But I'm looking to the chat right now. TJ says much better, so okay, I think we did a little troubleshooting there. I'm going to be having the calls come through, and because this is a caller-friendly program, again, if you want to call in tonight, the number's 213-233-3998. I'm hoping when the calls come through, we don't have a feedback problem. But again, I think the thing to really talk about right now, I already covered it pretty thoroughly in recent podcasts and a live stream I did today. But again, this year, 2019, our U.S. elected officials in the Senate and Congress, what they're focused on is passing anti-boycott bills of Israel. And you just got to go as an American. Out of all the things happening in the world, how can our top priority be to make sure that Israel isn't being boycotted? I mean, a nation that we do so much for. I don't know if we really could do any more than we already do for Israel. Why do we need to now focus to make sure they're not being boycotted? Which again is a problem that I haven't seen, or problem is not even the right word. I just don't see anybody in this nation boycotting Israel for the most part. I mean, if this is happening, it's a small thing. So anyhow, if you've been paying attention, this past Monday, they voted to move forward with the vote. You know how Congress is. They have to have a bunch of votes leading up to the main vote. But they voted to move it forward. They were supposed to vote on it today, but they delayed it till tomorrow. I don't know why. But this past Monday, January 28th, the Senate voted 74-19 to move ahead with the vote on this anti-BDS legislation. There's some other things tucked in there besides not being able to boycott Israel for businesses. Businesses do that, they'll lose government contracts and whatnot. But what was so interesting is that the vote was 74-19. If you're new to this program, those numbers probably don't mean anything to you, but if you're a longtime listener, you already know what's screaming out. 74 votes in favor and 93 total votes. Votes or numbers that are very important to the language of Gematria. And here we are on the Gematria Effect. It's episode number 122. We've been doing this for years now. Just using the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. If you just take the alphabetic order and turn the letters into numbers, adding up the values of words is what Gematria is. It comes from the Jewish mysticism known as Kabbalah. If you add up the word English, it sums to 74. If you add up the word Gematria, Gematria, 74. Just using the alphabetic order. If you write out the word occult, this knowledge is occult, mean it's hidden. Occult, 74. Very special number. Think about this nation's birthday, July 4th. The word holiday equals 74. When you take the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, Independence Day is 74. But most importantly, just using the alphabetic order, the word Jewish is 74. And this legislation has everything to do with the Jewish people, the Jewish nation of Israel. 74 votes in favor of moving forward with the vote so that Israel can't be boycotted. And only 19 people objected. Now, where were the other 7? I guarantee you they were told to sit out on purpose. They wanted there to be 93 votes. If you go back to the beginning of Israel, the borders were drawn up for that nation on September 3rd, 9-3, in the year 47. 47, the reflection is 74, of course. September 3rd, 9-3. 9-3 is this very important number to the history of Israel. Their Congress over there is called Knesset. Just using the alphabetic order, Knesset equals 93. Knesset once voted to make the capital of Israel be Jerusalem on a date with 93 numerology. And from then up to the present, it's just this number that persists. It's a ritualistic number. If you've ever heard of Aleister Crowley, he had an occult religion called Thelema that worshiped the number 93. He said hello and goodbye with 93. You know, Aleister Crowley, well-known occultist from the UK. So anyhow, the Gematria aside, again, these types of rituals in Washington, D.C., they should be reminders to all of us that our elected officials do not represent us. They do not. You know, we're a nation suffering from all sorts of problems. Health crisis, education crisis. These should be the real priorities, but instead it's it's Israel first. And so many people are under the illusion that Donald Trump is this America first candidate. Couldn't be farther from the truth. He was backed by some of the biggest Zionists in the world in Jerusalem for Jerusalem Day before he went up to the Vatican to visit Pope Francis by the numbers. We have to take off the blindfold in America. It's not an accident that all of our elected officials, when they take the Oval Office, they go before AIPAC. Remember Donald Trump when he was on the campaign trail, he was supposed to go do a big rally in Utah, and then he blew it off to go before AIPAC. It's the same. All of these people are owned and operated. So what I want to do now is go out to the call board before the line gets too long. We already got a number of callers on hold. Again, if you do want to call in tonight, it's best to call in early. 213-233-3998. Always love a first-time caller. We're going to go out to Philadelphia first, and I'm hoping that when I take this call, the audio's okay and we don't get some funny feedback thing. Philadelphia, how are you? Philadelphia, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, perfect. All right, I hear you.
All right, yeah. How are you?
Doing well. What's on your mind this evening?
Okay, well, I don't know if any of your listeners or you have ever seen the movie. It's called The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal. I haven't.
Okay, well, it's an old movie. It's from the early 80s. It was done by the Jim Henson, you know, the same guy that did the Muppets and Sesame Street.
Okay.
So it's pretty much mostly puppets, but it has it's loaded with symbolism and, you know, in your stuffed face. It has mind control, you know, stuff in it, which it wouldn't be a Hollywood movie if it didn't have that stuff in it. But it also has a load of symbolism, and I don't want to tell too much about it, but the movie is actually about us. I mean, people. It's about one good race of creatures and another evil race of creatures. And what happened, they used to be one group of creatures that in their arrogance, they split a crystal that gave them their power. And when the crystal split, then they became two different entities, one good, one evil. And it threw the land into darkness, and the land was bleak and, you know, and all that stuff. And when the crystal was put back together in one piece again, both entities joined back into one again, and they, you know, and the land became a paradise once again and everything. And it's about us, because it's like what they're doing with us with these political sides. You know, they want you to take a side when in reality, you know, I mean, we have both in us. I mean, no one is 100% conservative. No one's 100% liberal. We're 50-50. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Was there more you wanted to add, caller?
Yeah, no, that's just about it.
Well,
if you ever get the time, check it out.
I will. I got it up here on the screen. Haven't seen it before. Sounds very interesting. I see exactly where you're going with it. Sounds like there's a lot of truth in the film, as there are in so many movies. So thank you again. It's always good to hear your voice, and you always got a great movie recommendation for us.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Yeah, you have a good night. You take care. So that movie's The Dark Crystal. The Dark Crystal, 1982. Looks like it came out December 17th. Must have been one of those releases just before Christmas. I wasn't on the planet yet. Well, I guess I was in my mama's tummy. All right, let's go out to Nebraska. What's going on, Nebraska?
What's going on, Zach?
It's going well. Thanks for calling us back.
No problem. I always call in, Zach, definitely. But just wanted to follow up on my point. I called in 2 weeks ago about how to get change, just with the nonviolent movement and all. I just really believe it's all about energy, free energy, because, I mean, the government capitalizes off a lot of stuff, but I really believe in my heart if somebody figured out this free energy wave and we stopped paying monthly bills like to power our homes and to take showers and stuff, somebody can figure out free energy, that and everything else would fall in place. I know they've already messed up a lot of the land and the skies with chemtrails and all that other stuff, but if we can figure out magnetism or some kind of way to get us some free energy, I think we'd be in a way better place. But that's all I have for this week, Zach.
Well, I appreciate it. You have a great message. Earlier today, I did a live stream, and I said, yeah, I think the only way that we can actually really get free from this system is by working together, coming together, creating a sustainable community, having our own agriculture and our own energy. And I believe we could do it. We go to the right spot in the world. We can use solar, geothermal, wind, and
Yep.
That's how it's going to have to be done.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I believe the government has all kind of patents anyway. I mean, they have technology to destroy the world. I'm sure they have the technology to rebuild the world. They just know if it gets out to the masses, then they won't have the control because we won't need them anymore. So, I mean, it's just simple as that. But that's all I have. That.
You're right on. Somebody in the chat said, send me some of your smoke.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I could, man. We ain't legal yet in Nebraska, but definitely understand where they coming from.
Right. All right, brother. You have a good night, man.
All right, you too, Zach.
Take care. On the subject of energy, and this being the Gematria effect, with the alphabetic order, the word energy sums to 74. And just for the record, so does nuclear, so does weapon. They're all 74. And I'll remember you, just for a little reminder, I always like to bring up 9/11, especially now that they're censoring even more on Google. The Manhattan Project, you know, the Manhattan Project, the World Trade Centers were in Manhattan. They were turned to dust as they fell to the ground. They were on the 74th meridian. Is it all a coincidence? Let's go out to the next caller. It's the brilliant gentleman in New York. How are you doing this evening?
How are you, brother Zach?
Doing well.
All right, man. Here we go. My buddy's not with me, but so you got me. Where do I want to start? Yeah, where you started, of course. You know, this Israeli bill. When a government seeks to criminalize its own civilians in the defense of a foreign power, there is no better proof that America don't own their country anymore. What we have, ladies and gentlemen, is blind leaders leading blind people. This is a comment right here, what I'm about to read, that I wrote, and I tried to put on your blog, but they said some potential spam, so they wouldn't allow me to comment on one of your podcasts. And I wrote this: rise above the manufactured civil war by the chosen ones who divide us by politics, race, religion, socially economics. They distract us by their weapons of mass destruction, news, sports, political theater. What is the thing that the money changers fear the most? Is unity and truth. So therefore, brothers and sisters, lock arms with one another in unity and truth and peace, and rise above the manufactured civil war. You see, my friends, there are three things that cannot be hidden for very long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So that's what I have. I just wanted to ask you a quick question, and let me just go in real quick to the stupid rig sports. And I'm looking forward to a Patriot win. I'm hoping that comes through. Just not for the money aspect, but just to show the people. I was calling this since the beginning of the year because of you, Zach, and your great forecast on this, or your reading of the code. What's very interesting is this guy who scored the winning touchdown against the Falcons in overtime, James C. White. His birthday happens to be on the day the football game is being played, the Super Bowl. He has date numerology of 44 and 53 in his name, James C. White. He wears number 28. He's a running back. So very, very interesting with that. I came across something too when I was looking at a couple of rigged NFL video things. And it was a tweet from a Todd Gurley 7 years ago. 7 years ago, in 2012, ladies and gentlemen, Todd Gurley was 17 years old. And he made a tweet, something to the effect, I don't have it right in front of me, but it said, so you all Patriot fans, I'm going to be playing you all in the Super Bowl. And that was like from 2012. I'm like, how is that? You know, but very interesting. So I just wanted to throw that on here. Very interesting. Did you know that this guy, James White?
I didn't know what you just revealed. No, I did not know that. And while we're on the subject, I'll point out that number 26 for the Patriots, who played his college ball at Georgia and who played in that championship against Alabama where the Super Bowl is going to be, he wears the number 26. And from his birthday to the Super Bowl is 351 days, the 26th triangular. And again, 26, we've been talking about that number all year. This season began on the 26th of Elul on the Hebrew calendar, a date with 26 numerology. We said the Eagles would beat the Falcons to start the season in the big 26 ritual. That's exactly it. The Falcons stayed on 351 franchise wins in that first game. And we just saw the AFC win the Pro Bowl with 26 points. So it's like, you know, even if we're wrong about who's going to win the Super Bowl, which I'll be surprised if we are, I mean, with everything that's happened this year, there should be no way that anybody can refute what we've been saying year after year after year. And that we just have way too many correct predictions and evidence in our case, and it just builds by the day. So,
and I agree, brother. So, and on that, you know, because I don't want to give too much energy to this rig garbage. Really, my concern is getting this knowledge out. And yesterday was when I was in the gym. I go, I work out a little bit. I go in the sauna. I go work out again. I do my routine, whatever. And 3 of these guys got my message, and I hooked them up to your work. And a 4th guy who was listening to me, he put your stuff on while we were in the sauna. So that was encouraging, because my message is to try to bring people together, you know, with the truth. And you have presented, as you said, the evidence to what's really going on daily because of this numerical code. Now, before I get off, I just want to turn you on to one other thing that I'm not sure you might be familiar with. Have you ever heard the altar of Pergamon?
Say it again?
The altar of Pergamon. Pergamon.
I'm looking it up.
Okay, very interesting, my brother. It's also referred to the altar of Satan. Now, this is one of the most famous items in the Berlin antique thing, in their museum that they got there, okay? Now, this altar of Pergamon, or the altar of Satan, 5 years ago was taken down for, you know, refurbishing. And it's supposed to open up. I think they took it down sometime in September of 2014, and it's supposed to open up 2019. Wouldn't that be something after the Tisha B'Av, the 8/11 date we're looking at, that they start to unveil this altar of Pergamon, or this altar of Satan?
Yeah, that is very interesting.
For 5 years, my friend.
That is very interesting.
I just wanted to, you know, throw that out to you so you can do your wonderful decodes on this stuff, you know, because, you know, why did it go through, you know, construction for 5 years, and now this chaos year that we're looking at, because 19 equals chaos, it was the year 2019, and the people that are listening know the importance of that 19 to this order out of chaos crew that we got, you know, the chosen ones, or the money changers. So, brother, keep your peace, brother. Keep up the great work. And thank you so much for all you do.
Very welcome.
Please.
Appreciate your calls and observation. We got 3 minutes until the commercial break. What was so weird about, for whatever reason, when he said the name of the altar, I don't know how it worked out this way. Before he said that it has something to do with Satan, for some reason, like, I just knew he was going to go there. And that was something I meant to say in the beginning about this vote we just had for Israel, and that we can't boycott the nation. The vote was 74-19, a difference of 55 votes. The word Satan, just using the alphabetic order, is 55. And again, from the Bible, this code, very much biblical. The name for the false Jews in the Bible is the synagogue of Satan. And no doubt their agenda is order out of chaos. What stands out to me in a big way about the name of this altar, Pergamon altar, Pergamon. I just typed it in here in the Gematria calculator. It sums to 141. And remember, August 11th can be written 8/11. 811 is the 141st prime. So that is really strange. And then the other thing I notice is the altar has Gematria 75, like order out of chaos, like New World Order. Remember that article at the end of World War II, or actually during the war, not quite the end, the New York Times headline, New World Order pledged to Jews on a date with 75 numerology. So, yeah, there's definitely some things that jump out about the name of this altar. I'll have to do some more research on it. But very interesting. All right. Let me go out to Pinehurst, Texas. Pinehurst, Texas, we got a minute till the break. If you need more, we'll continue once we come back.
Okay. I'm also going to give you a special tutorial that's going to show.
And can you mute whatever you got in the background? It's coming through clearly.
Sorry about that. Are we going to commercial break or?
We got a minute, so just get started. If we need more time, we'll continue when we come back.
Okay. Well, let's wait till the commercial break. After commercial break, okay?
Okay. All right. I'll come back to you then. That must mean he's got a mouthful. All right. Again, we got we're down to 35 seconds till the break. Tonight, what we're doing that's different, if you want to tune in on YouTube, we're doing a live stream. And just for the people who are watching on YouTube, I'm going to mute this when the music kicks in so that YouTube doesn't shut down the live stream because could get a copyright thing. So we'll go to mute over the commercial break, and then we'll bring it back. We'll bring back on the volume when we come back from the commercial. So just be prepared for that. The commercials are short. And there it is. We'll be right back, Truth Seeker. Actually, since this is a live stream and so you guys aren't bored, I can interact with the chat while we're on commercial break. Dick Miller died today. Okay. Let's just take a peek at Dick Miller's death while we're on commercial. Dick Miller from Terminator, he gets a band. He made it to 90. He just turned 90 on Christmas Day. He had a Christmas Day birthday. He's dead 36 days later, or on his 37th day of his age. Let's see. The one thing that stands out just on the surface right away is today has 43 date numerology. Oh, there it is. The name Richard's 43, but better yet, the name Richard Miller is 130. And what's today? January 30th, 1/30. Again, nobody will ever question the death of a 90-year-old, but it's so interesting how these celebrities die again and again on dates that are just so perfect for them. So Richard Miller, 130, dead on 1/30, January 30th. And again, Richard's 43, dead on a date with 43 numerology. RIP's also 43. Yeah, there's a chance that he just died organically by the code. I mean, there's a chance, but we know, thanks to the song Murder by Numbers, killing is the sport of the elite. And it's as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. Use that code, Dick Miller, 130. Let's see. We're coming back from commercial in about 30 seconds. The music's probably kicking in right now.
Or by surprise.
Or no, it's still on commercial. Let's see. Thanks, Danielle. I appreciate the compliment. Sorry to all you guys who are going through the cold out there. We're back, True Seeker. This is the Gematria Effect. In case you're new here, we're on every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern. Check your time zone. This is an internet broadcast, so it is worldwide. Tonight, we're also streaming on YouTube. Join the chat. Good chat over there. Who's up next? It's Pinehurst, Texas. And again, tonight for all callers, if you guys can just be focused and nail the point you wanna come with and not go on for 10 minutes at a time. Be careful, you'll be on camera. What is that? All right. My sweet love brought me something to eat. I don't know what it is though. Oh, okay. Thank you. Anyhow, I was saying, when you call in tonight, if you can just be real focused and give us your best points and not go on for too long, we should be able to get through each caller. Every night I feel bad if we don't make it through the whole list, but if you guys can be real focused, it'll help us achieve that. As said, let's go out to Pinehurst, Texas. You there?
Hey, Zach, you can come back to me. You can circle back to me, Zach.
You're still not ready, huh? All right, I'll come back. All right, let's go out to Zenith of the Alpha. What's up, Zenith?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on, man.
Can you hear me, Zach?
Yeah.
So, hey, man, sorry, I had my headphones on, couldn't hear. So I wanted to talk about the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Okay.
He posted a video on Instagram explaining that his quote-unquote government name is Daniel Hernandez. And he says that Daniel has 6 letters in the first name, and Hernandez has 9 letters. 6'9", Daniel Hernandez, right? And that Instagram video was shared on VladTV.com. You can check it out. And it was shared on a day with a 69 date numerology. So in the publishing date was August 23rd, 2018. So add those together, 8 plus 23 plus 20 plus 18. 69, right? So I saw on your blog, you talked about this guy, and you said that his breakout song, Gummo, has a 69 Gematria using the English ordinal cipher. And I read on Rolling Stone website that all his friends used to call him Danny, of course, you know, not Daniel, not the rapper name, but using the keypad cipher of Gematria, Danny Hernandez equals 69. Like his rap name, 6'9". And Tekashi's debut commercial mixtape was released on the 54th day of last year. 54 is like 6 times 9. And something else, this is a bit of a stretch, but Tekashi is sometimes spelled with a $ instead of the S. And if you spell it just like that, it equals 54 in ordinal. Again, 54 is equal to 6 times 9. And I don't know. There's some interesting stuff with that guy, and I had some more numbers I could talk about, but trying to keep it focused.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job.
I just think it's interesting. He came out with that. I think it's interesting. He came out with that Instagram video, and he kind of played it off like he just figured this out after his face. You know, his face has this big old 69 tattoo on his covering his abs. He has a big old 69, and on his arms he has like tons of 69s. He must have dozens of 69s on his body.
Funny, huh?
So, I mean, he's literally stamped with the 6'9".
You should do a video on this, because I've had 1,000 people ask me to do a video on him, and I think I just covered it briefly.
I actually did, and there was a couple other things I talked about on that I probably won't get to on this call. But so yeah, I mean, check out my latest video. I did talk about that.
Huh. I haven't been getting any notifications for your channel now that I think about it. They must have done the same thing to you that they've done to me. I need to go look at your channel. I haven't seen anything pop up from Zenith of the Alpha for, now that I think about it, probably a month.
Well, I guess you get the link on your blog. You should check it out.
Yeah.
I usually make short videos these days, so.
Okay, I will check it out.
Anyways, I'll let you go. I know you got a bunch of calls, so I'll just keep it focused, keep it short.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, later, man. Again, everybody, that's Zenith of the Alpha. That's the YouTube channel name. What's funny is a long time ago, he said he didn't want to make YouTube videos, but now he's been at it for a while. How long has it been? Has it been 2 years? It's been a while. All right, here he is. Young Decoder. Every week he calls in, his voice is lower and lower. What's going on, Young Decoder?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, man.
Hi. Well, I'm glad that my extremely bad stomach pains from this really bad gas I had went away in time for the show.
I'm glad it's gone too, man.
Anyway, all right, thank you, man. Have you heard of this big channel that had like 300,000 subscribers? This guy's name's Vegan Games. He got his channel got terminated on Monday.
No, what happened?
Oh, well, some of the strikes that he got, like one of his videos, apparently it was like 3 years old, and then one of them was like 5 months, and one of them was like 3 months, right? And I think he was like trying to comply with the strikes, but you know, he had like some pretty big outbursts before. Like he was talking about like stomping on babies and stuff. And I don't know if you've heard of this guy named Furious Pete, but he got, I think, testicular cancer, and then I think this guy Vegan Games said, "I hope you die from cancer," or whatever. But still, you know, it kind of worries me that, you know, they're taking down, you know, all these channels, and I'm worried for you. I think you could be next.
Again?
I mean, that's what they did with Alex Jones.
Well, then I'd be on my 19th channel in 2019. It only seems fitting. Honestly, if they delete my channel at this point, I don't even care. I almost just want to start over again because nobody's even getting any notifications. It's like I have no subscribers right now. So.
Right. Yeah. Like I never get notifications. I swear I have the bell on, right? And so whenever you do the live stream, I don't get it. I mean, I got the live stream that or the notification that you're doing it. But like, you know, I have no idea when these live streams are happening, and they just don't happen as often. Like, because when I have the notification bell, I should be getting, you know, all of the alerts, right? Whenever you make a video.
Right, theoretically,
but it doesn't do that. And these algorithms are messed up. I mean, you could say like one word, and you know what's even more messed up is that people in the chat, right? They can say something, and because of that, because of something that somebody said in the chat or something that somebody said in the comments, you know, these YouTubers have to like manage their own. You know, they have to like delete comments and stuff, you know, to try to not get censored, and it's just a whole mess what's happening. I mean, like I could see them like demonetizing, right? Because I mean, at least their voice is getting out. You know, maybe they don't make money on it, but you know, at least their voice is getting out. But like completely censoring them, I think is just ridiculous. What do you think about that?
I do. The fact that you said he was advocating for stomping on babies, I imagine is why the channel got deleted, because you're not allowed to advocate any type of violent act on YouTube. So that probably was the
right.
The thing that did it there. And yeah, but I mean,
why didn't they delete them a while ago? I mean,
sure.
You know, like if you said that, then your channel should be deleted right away. Why did YouTube wait until now? But I mean, they did it with Alex Jones, and you know, people are like, okay, you know, this guy got censored, you know, he's off over the top, and it's like the same thing here. It's like, okay, I understand how this guy was censored, but then you know, it's going to be like, you know, just some guy who has like opinions that differ with what YouTube wants to be putting out, and he gets censored, or just their algorithm finds like a trigger word and gets censored. I think it's a mess, man.
Yeah.
But I also thought there was something interesting with the vote today. Is that 74-19. I think it might be correlated with the Patriots because remember Robert Kraft got that Jewish award or whatever?
The Jewish Nobel Prize.
Right. And so remember that, well, the last year's Super Bowl was in Minneapolis, 93, and how many points were scored in that Super Bowl? 74, right?
That's right.
And I don't know what the 19 is about, but maybe the Patriots will score 19 in this one. I brought up that possibility,
right?
That it could happen, but I don't know. I think that you should look at it, man. And 19, if you spell out the word 19, it equals 41.
Right. Yeah, it's a good observation.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, or one more thing. I heard like some statistic, this kid brought it up in my class because we were having like debates about stuff. And he said that there were 113 kids who died in school shootings last year. So, I mean, I absolutely chuckled to myself, but.
Stoneman Douglas High School,
yeah.
113. Sandy Hook Elementary School, 113. Yeah, amazing.
Right. And I think when the Heat played like the Sixers, there was like this, or it was last season, right? After Dwayne Wade declared the season for whoever, Joaquin Oliver. I think it was in one of the playoff games because they faced each other in the playoffs. I forgot what team it was, but they had 111 points. And, the clock was going to run out, right? But then the guy decides to go for the layup and makes it, like, as time is about to expire, and they're up by, like, 10 points. And it goes to, like, 113, and the score goes up to 113. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who sees these things. I mean, except for you guys, but yeah, numbers are everywhere. All these random things are related, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
This isn't just random. And the whole, BDS thing, look, you should be able to boycott whatever you want. You can choose to buy, whatever you want. Like if you can choose not to buy SodaStream. Nobody's forcing you to buy SodaStream. And that's a product that's made in Israel. And I think that the U.S. should be, that we should focus on what's happening in our own country rather than focusing on Israel, because Israel is a corrupt nation just like ours, just like pretty much every other nation in the world. So, yeah, if you think there's any difference between Israel, our country, or any of the European countries or anywhere else, there really isn't. But yeah, thank you for taking my call, man.
All right, appreciate it, buddy. Keep up the good work. You have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, take care. Unbelievable stat. I hadn't heard that one before. 2018, worst year for U.S. school shootings. This is from the BBC, December 12th, 2018. It was published. There have been 113 people killed or injured in school shootings in 2018. And again, the biggest one of those shootings, of course, was the Stoneman Douglas High School. And using the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, Stoneman Douglas High School, Sandy Hook Elementary School, both 113. I pointed this out within moments of that news breaking, because the first thing I saw as soon as that story broke on Valentine's Day was the media put out a story of a bunch of high school kids walking shoulder in shoulder, with the hands on the back of the shoulders of the classmate in front of them. And I said, doesn't this photo remind you of the little children at Sandy Hook Elementary School walking the line with their hands on their shoulders? And then I said, beyond that, just look at the gematria. Sandy Hook Elementary School 113, Stoneman Douglas High School 113. And now this stat. It just never ends with the 113. And again, 113, that number that comes from the Talmud about, it's okay for the you-know-who's to lie to the non-you-know-who's. And can't remind you enough that Stoneman Douglas was in that neighborhood with Sheriff Scott Israel, and it was a predominantly Jewish neighborhood. Are all of these things a coincidence? And understand the young man who just called in, he's Jewish himself. And he doesn't like how, you know, so many people are so hateful towards all Jews, but he does see that there's definitely some corruption and wrongdoing. And so for all of you people out there that, you know, you got it out against all Jews, understand that young man who just called in, he's Jewish himself, and he doesn't appreciate any of this either, and he's trying to spread the word too. So let's go out to another brilliant caller in New York. How are you this evening?
I'm okay. How are you, Zach?
Doing well, thank you.
All right, good to hear. I already have a Gematria today. I just want to follow up on events, like very important events that occurred in Kenya. As you know, a couple of weeks ago in Kenya, there was a hotel shooting that was attributed to Al-Shabaab terror group.
It was on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that was significant too. But also significant was that it also brought back memories of a previous major terror event in Nairobi, Kenya. That was the Westgate Mall shooting. Remember, I decoded the Westgate Mall. I said how where the name Westgate came from. It's a Masonic allusion to Hiram Abiff, the Masonic allegorical character who represents Osiris and the sun who was killed at the West Gate of Solomon's Temple.
Absolutely.
And the fact that it happened on the autumnal equinox of September 21st, which is that's kind of like a symbolic sunset as well, because summer's over and the sun at autumn is going into the underworld. That's also when Freemasons have their ceremony called the Martyrdom of Hiram Abiff. So there's no coincidence why that happened. But I wanted to, I also brought up how Kenya is very significant. It's probably the African country with the closest ties politically to the state of Israel. And in 2016, there was they made 6 replica Arks of the Covenant, and for each continent. And Kenya got the representation for Africa, and the Kenyan replica was the biggest of the 6. And they had their big ceremony on November 22nd, 11/22. That was significant. I also brought up the fact that when the architects of Zionism were first proposing where to locate the Zionist state, the East African country, neighbor of Kenya, Uganda, was actually one of the initial proposals.
Huh.
And that was known as the Uganda proposal that was submitted at the 6th Zionist Congress of 1903 in Basel, Switzerland. And that was put forth by none other than the father of Zionism, like at least publicly, Theodor Herzl. So that's just to indicate how significant East Africa is to the New World Order. I mean, most Americans, understandably, it's a big country, so much going on here. I may not be aware, but you should keep your eye on that. And one thing I wanted to talk about was what's happened in the aftermath of that latest hotel attack 2 weeks ago. The Kenyan government just submitted a proposal to create a DNA database for every Kenyan citizen and foreigner living there. The proposal also called for a GPS location and tracking device of unspecified nature to be worn by every resident of Kenya. Basically, the long predicted RFID chip. All this based on the terror attacks and fake claim that the elite are trying to ensure the safety of the masses. I don't think there's any doubt who some of the forces are behind the bloodshed. It's basically the group of people who are benefiting from the bloodshed, which is those who now have absolute power and control. That is a classic example of order out of chaos. Order as a new world order. No matter what part of the world one lives in, the events in Kenya and other places subject to supposed terror attacks are a noteworthy indication of where the entire world is headed. Kenya has a population of 50 million people. An RFID monitoring system and a DNA data bank is way too expensive for them to afford. But the likes of the United States, Britain, and Britain already has a national DNA database for every citizen. Then Israel and Saudi Arabia will show their benevolent human side and assist Kenya in bankrolling their RFID and DNA New World Order programs. Now, this isn't reported in the world press, but so far it's only been reported in Kenyan press. So you might have, kind of a hard time hearing about it. But another fact that's important is that the terror group Al-Shabaab, there's also another terror group that operates in Africa called Boko Haram.
Right.
These, as well as ISIL and Al-Qaeda, all these terror groups, they grew out of a sect of Islam called Wahhabi Islam or Salafi Islam, which is not real Islam. In fact, most of their victims are Muslims. Wahhabi Islam was invented in Saudi Arabia by the Saud family and Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab with the help of the demonic British royal family. So the Saudi nobility created Islamic terror groups and are allied with the United States, Britain, and Israel. And where was Donald Trump's first international visit as president of the United States? It was to Saudi Arabia. Kenya is also one of the biggest recipients of Bill and Melinda Gates vaccination programs, as well as other international vaccination programs. The birth rate in Kenya at the moment is now at an all-time low, with one of the fastest growing industries in Kenya being fertility clinics. UNICEF USA, on its own website, unicefusa.org, proudly boasts of its Kenya vaccination scheme called the Eliminate Project. That's right, the Eliminate Project. Like, what are they eliminating? Well, they're eliminating disease? No, they're eliminating people. And they're letting you know that's part of the marketing that you always talk about. So Kenya, the African country with the closest US, British, and Israeli political ties, is a laboratory for the New World Order. Population reduction, mark of the beast RFID chips, and DNA data banks. It's also noteworthy that there's a big major Masonic lodge in Nairobi, Kenya. And they don't hide the fact, they have their own website. I went on their website, it's called freemasonskenya.com. And there's a picture of the president of Kenya. He's now the former president, but there's a president of Kenya shaking hands at a ceremony with a high-ranking white Freemason. I don't know where, they don't say where he's from. He's either British, American, or Israeli, I'd imagine. So that's the kind of indication of, maybe the reach that these people have. We're focused mostly on the United States, but this just goes to show you this truly is the New World Order. Also, one last thing I found interesting, Somalia, which, if it's not one of the poorest countries in the world, it might be the poorest country in the world, lack of basic infrastructure. But I went on the FreemasonKenya.com site. Apparently, they're not poor enough to have a Masonic lodge. Even Somalia has a Masonic lodge.
Huh.
So yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, so yeah, that's not Gematria, but I just thought I'd share that because I think it's important that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of, but it has implications for the whole world.
Absolutely, yeah. Great call as always. A lot of important information. I'm well aware how they love to experiment with Africa, seemingly before they experiment with the rest of the people of the world, which truly is sick. But it's definitely something that's not talked about enough. So excellent information as always.
Come on, thanks a lot, man. Have a good night.
All right, you too, man. You take care. Great caller from New York. He's always got something brilliant to say. I think he needs his own show on TFR. Needs his own YouTube channel. So he's like Zenith of the Alpha. He's been calling in a long time, always with great calls. And I'm just excited for the day that he starts putting out his own content. I think it's going to happen. Let's go out to, let's do it. Let's see. Fort Wayne, Indiana, we got a minute and a half till the break. Do you need more time than that? Caller?
Hello?
Hello, you're on.
Hello?
Yes, you're here.
Oh, great. Okay, great. That caller that was just talking about Kenya, oh my goodness. That was disturbing. Really.
It was.
Eliminate Project, I looked it up, definitely going to check into that. DNA tracker, the connections with, all the other countries in Africa, things I've been following for years, I really was going to call about the BDS and mention Roseanne Barr, her statements about Congress being like Hamas and I was going to tell you she mentioned something about compared the BDS as the boycott that happened during World War II against the Jewish businesses. And you know about all that. You've talked about it. She was comparing people to that, that were supporting BDS.
Caller, sit tight.
It's really important.
Caller, sit tight. We're going to commercial break. We'll continue right when we come back.
Okay.
Be right back, everybody. All right. Well, we're on commercial break. I'll just interact with the chat here. I saw somebody said I have on my Live Strong bracelets. What's funny is when I moved to this town, I was at a furniture store, and the guy gave me this, and he said, if I wear this blue thing, it'll help my energy levels. And I said, really? And that was in July, and I have not taken this thing off since. And I don't know if it works or not, but anyway. And then my lady, she's going to this school right now, and they gave her one of these too, so I just threw it on. Twice the energy. I don't know if they really do anything, though. They're not Hello Kitty bracelets. One came from a furniture store, the blue one, and then the other one's where my lady goes to school. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep talking to her. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going right back to her call. I can tell she's got something great to share. I also saw that somebody just phoned in from nearby in Washington, and they hung up. They were just two away in line, so I hope they call back in. I've never had a caller so local. I was hoping it'd be somebody in the community that said, hey, will you come speak here? That was my hope. So we got about a minute until the break's up. Truth in Me. Anybody who does the pre-order for the upcoming book, I send them the ebook. So yeah, if you pre-order for the book that I'm finishing now, I will send you a copy, the second edition of my first book. And just understand, my first book's an ebook. My next book will actually be in print. So I email you the first book. Gematrinator is not offline. It's just the website's being attacked. You have to keep refreshing the screen until it loads. You might have to reload it 5 to 10 times before it works. All right, Jeremiah, you have a good night. Thanks for listening, man. Thanks, Accept the Truth. I appreciate your message and compliment. Let's see. Should be coming back from commercial here in just a second.
Frequency Radio.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal. More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
We're back, Truth Seekers. We got 2 hours left of the Gematria Effect. Tonight we are streaming on YouTube if you want to tune in. We're taking your calls, and had a beautiful voice out in Indiana. She's on hold, and she's back right now. If you're on hold, please be patient. I will get to your call as soon as possible. All right, Indiana, we're back.
Hey, Jack. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was, just going to share a few things. I don't have any deciphering or anything like that. But, I just wanted to fill in a couple things that maybe some people have missed in the last 24 hours, and to do with, BDS and Venezuela and Palestine. It's really getting crazy. I mean, we're really in dangerous times. Censorship is really, really big on Twitter now. Gotta share this with you. I was on the Twitter feed at the UN Security Council emergency meeting hearing for Venezuela, where our government gave put this unknown person in power. I don't know how to say it. He's just kind of announced to the world, there's a coup going on, and we're in the front row, and then they sat there and they were saying stuff like, you got to choose, you're either with us or against us, more or less, like the speech that Bush gave, right before, the war on terror,
Right.
I mean, it's really serious. And anyways, just recently, in the last 24 hours, IDF troops have moved to Brazil. I don't know if you heard, in Brazil, they have, put a right-wing, person in there. And anyways, they had a dam burst. I mean, in a mining area.
Right.
And these mudslides, and, there's like maybe couple hundred people missing. So anyways, Bibi was, Netanyahu, how do you say his name? Can't say it very well. He was in Davos, and he met up with the Brazil president. And then the next thing you know, he's got IDF going over there for a rescue team, and they're not even there half a day. And the top guy that's working for Brazil Rescue says, what they've got, we don't need, more or less, bottom line. And, people are real suspicious. I mean, first they said it was 130, and then it says then it moved up to 300. And, Brazil, borders Venezuela, along with Colombia. And Colombia was mentioned just recently by Bolton, having revealed, I don't know if on purpose or not, but this note that said 5,000 troops to Colombia. So people are suggesting that IDF troops are on their way. And So anyways, I wanted to share that with people, to get people more on board there. And also the fact that, this BDS is more important than ever to not get passed. I really think that if they don't pass that, they're going to, the United States is probably going to declare that Hamas is a terrorist state. And so that anybody that speaks up for the Palestinians in Gaza, where Hamas is the elected official, then we're going to be, terrorists. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We'll be considered terrorists. And the same thing with what Roseanne Barr is doing. She's stating that the Democrats are like Hamas in Congress. They're bringing these words up, that have been used over and over in the United Nations Security Council by Nikki Haley, who been supporting Israel for the United States, and she's very good at it. So anyways, I'm a little nervous, I'm sorry. I think people need to really look into what your last caller said about the DNA and the tracker in Kenya. We've been involved. The United States has been involved over in Africa for some time, in these countries, and so is Israel, so is France. Those are the main ones, anyways, I think, from what I can tell. So anyways, I think that you need to get back on Twitter, and work that and see if that might change things up a little bit. I'd be happy to help you, get some Twitter, I forget what it's called, but they're sort of help you get, a message out that day,
Sure.
for a day or something. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I love you for what you're doing, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are following you to do too. But the ones that are just following you for the damn money, damn them, you cowards. Okay, Zach, I gotta go. I'm talking too much.
I appreciate your call very much, and if you have my Gematria hotline number, please call me on that. I'd love to help with the Twitter, because I'm not the best on Twitter, so I would appreciate that.
I don't have that, so if somebody would put that in the chat, I'll get it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, somebody will put it out there. I know that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You have a good night. Thank you for your call.
Bye.
Yeah, that DNA collection thing. It's obvious that a database is being built. These days, if you get arrested, they take a swab of your mouth for your DNA. Just more and more ways collecting our information. Let's go out to Helena, Montana.
Hello.
You're on.
Oh, hi, Zach.
Hello.
It's Austin.
Hey, Austin.
So, looking at this Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Rams, it kind of reminds me of the Patriots Falcons one, where everything lined up of 25.
Right.
And so Jared Goff can stay on 26 career wins, and the AFC can get 26 wins and a whole bunch of other stuff.
The Rams would get their 26th franchise playoff loss too.
Yep. And I was thinking, you brought up the fact that Sony Michel's birthday is 351 days from the Super Bowl,
right?
Which is the 26th triangular number.
Right.
I was thinking maybe watch for him to be the MVP of the game.
Here's a Gematria test out there. Try writing out Super Bowl most valuable player and see what it equals. You don't have to do it right now. You can do it after the call, but you might get a nice grin on your face.
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking, or perhaps maybe Sony Michel will get the MVP because he's been having a good postseason, they say, but we all know these games are scripted.
All right.
Oh,
Well, I appreciate it, caller. You make some great observations.
all right. Thank you for taking my call. Good night.
Yeah, you're welcome. You have a good night too. Keep up the good work. All right. Yakima, Washington. How are you doing?
Hi, Zach. Hey, I just moved to Yakima. What a strange place. I don't know if I'm in your neck of the woods. My name is Neil. Anyway, yeah, this is kind of an interesting place. This isn't really Gematria related, but sort of. I'm just kind of interested in this year's halftime show for the Super Bowl. I just wonder, you know, I study occult knowledge, and I'm kind of into that more than the Gematria, but I am slowly getting my feet wet with it. I'm just thinking that this year's Super Bowl is going to be used as ritual magic, and I do believe that numbers have a vibrational effect. And I wonder what the halftime show is going to be like, and if it's going to be just another ritual, kind of similar to what one of the Super Bowls when Katy Perry was doing the halftime show.
Sure. And she wasn't she on a big line? I forget what she was on now. Is that what she was on?
Yeah, she was. I think it was like signifying like she was the temptress or something, and then, but you know, the checkerboards and just all the, you know, it was just highly Luciferian Masonic ritual. I just saw it, you know, I just saw it right off the bat. You know, she was writing the beast, and it was just totally over the top. That's actually one of the most, you know, when in terms of Super Bowl halftime shows, that was probably the most, I guess, boisterous or very much in your face ritual that I saw on the halftime show. The last few have been actually pretty quiet, and they weren't really telegraphing anything. But I'm just interested in what they're going to do this year, and if it'll kind of foretell maybe some things that'll unravel this year.
Sure.
I don't know. I just want your opinion and want you to pay attention to it.
When they announced that it was going to be Maroon 5 on September 19th, we pointed out that day that from September 19th to the Super Bowl was 137 days later, which is the 33rd prime number. In Satanic Gematria, NFL equals 137. And in Hebrew Gematria, Kabbalah equals 137, where this whole thing of letters and numbers comes from. And from the front man from Maroon 5, Adam Levine, from his birthday to the Super Bowl was 322 days later, 322. The number from Yale, Skull and Bones, and American football credited to Walter Camp, who went to Yale and likely was a Skull and Bones member. And if you write out ancient mystery religions, it sums to 322 in Gematria. And ancient mystery religions includes Kabbalah and also Hermeticism. Hermeticism has the principle of vibration, where everything carries a vibration that has an impact on our world, including every letter and every number. So I see the ritual, and also that groups from Los Angeles. Here we have a Los Angeles team in the Super Bowl. There's some rituals with the rappers they just named too, which I covered recently in a podcast. But I don't know what they have planned. I'll do some research and see if I can get any if there's any information out there on what's planned for the Super Bowl halftime show. I imagine it would have some sort of patriotic theme in light of the national anthem being, you know, still front and center, and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But I'll have to do some digging and see if there's anything out there, any little preview for what's coming.
All right, I appreciate it, Zach, and I guess I just got your not your latest book, but the book that you had on the 800-page one. I just bought that on digital copy, so it's just really interesting. You covered a lot of different topics and related to Gematria, but it's not just Gematria, but other things. So there's other subjects in there that I thought were really interesting, and it actually pertains to me. I can tell you've educated yourself in a lot of cool things, and it was interesting. So far, the book's very interesting. And I'm just curious, the one that's going to be available for pre-order, is it going to be something along the same lines? Because I was just dumbfounded on how much work you put into that book.
So the new book won't be nearly as long. The new book's about the year 2018 in review, all the big things that happened in 2018 by this code. And I plan to do a book each year, just reviewing the year and everything that happened in it. And I realize for future years, I'm going to have to get this book out closer to the end of the year, just so it's more timely. But the upcoming book's the year 2018 in review. So
And I just got one more question, Zach, and then I'll let you go, get on to other callers. Do you think, do you think 2020 will be a significant year? It just kind of seems like, a good number for the elite and the powers that be to enroll all their stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but a lot of people, a lot of my friends, they always talk about 2020 and how things will probably, I don't know, you'll just start seeing a lot of things going on in that year. I just would like your thoughts, and that's it.
Well, I wonder what they're going to do in 2022, because when we hear that term, we associate it with vision and seeing clearly. So I wonder if a lot of things come into focus and, or maybe from their point of view, just putting things really right in front of our face and still having the majority of us still not see it. The word occult also has a Gematria 20. So I suspect you're right about that year. 20's got a lot of symbolism to it.
All right, Zach, thank you. I appreciate for taking my call, bud.
Yeah, you have a good night. Take care, man.
Thank you. You too.
And by the way, if you don't have the Gematria hotline, you should hit me up. Maybe we can be buddies. We are living in the similar area. So, all right, let's go out to Cleveland, Ohio. What's going on, Cleveland?
Zach, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, your voice is booming. What's going on?
Hey, I want to build a case for the Rams potentially winning a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Do you remember last year, the big number we were looking at was 62?
Right.
It seemed like it pointed towards the Patriots to win.
Right.
Now, if you take the date the Super Bowl is happening and apply it to the 13-moon calendar, this is what you get. Now, February 3rd falls on the 7th month in the 25th day, so 7/25.
Okay.
So on the 13-moon calendar, the Super Bowl is happening on 7/25. Now, as of 7/25, there are 6 moons and 3 days remaining. So this is the 6-3 that we're chasing, I believe, so far up front. The 6-3 is connected to the date itself.
Okay.
As of 7/25, which is February 3rd, there's 6 moons and 3 days remaining. Now, Tom Brady could potentially fall to 5 and 4. So this is what I did. I went to the 5th moon in the 4th month. Okay. The 5th moon in the 4th month is November 18th.
The 322nd day of the year?
18th. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, but check this out, though. As of 3/22, there's 43 days left. The 43rd day of the year is February 12th, a day to rewrite 2/12, 212. LeBron James is currently 3 and 6. Last year, he was swept on 6/8. The 8th month and the 6th day is 2/12. So I believe that's the connection between LeBron and Tom Brady potentially falling to 5 and 4, because 5 and 4 is November 22nd. That leaves 43 days left in the year. The 43rd day is 2/12. LeBron, he's currently 3 and 6. Last year, he was swept on June 8th, the day we write 6/8. If you go to the 8th month and the 6th day on the 13-moon calendar, that day is February 12th, 2/12, the 43rd day of the year.
All right, hold on. I just got to come back to where you started. You pointed out that the day of the Super Bowl leaves 6 moons and 3 days. And I don't know why you would run away from that in light of everything else we've been talking about. Hey, who else has 6 championships in sports that you can think of?
6 championships in sports.
Come on, man.
Basketball. Well,
Michael Jordan
has 6 rings.
Michael Jordan.
Right.
What year was he born in?
Exactly.
What year was he born in?
I do not know.
You better look that. Yeah, there you go. That's what year he was born in. That's what year he was born in. And if you want to get even funnier, type in New England Patriots and look at what his birthday is. Oh, man, this stuff is deep. All right, I'm gonna remember what you said, but I think you got too abstract. I think you said it right, just going with the date. I was like, okay, how are you gonna go from that to the Rams? Okay, but you got a little abstract with it. I see what you did, but I think you got too cute with it there. So I'll remember that you said that though.
But you know what, Zach? It's weird that you say that because it lines up perfectly with the Patriots, the date itself, with the 6-3. It lines up perfectly. I was just trying to build a case to see where the Rams could possibly take it if the 5-4 could potentially land on something else. One more thing before I go. 4 and 5. Now, we went to the 5th moon and the 4th day. But if you go to the 4th moon and the 5th day, that day is October 22nd. 4-5, the 4th moon and the 5th day is October 22nd. Now, that's the 295th day. That leaves 70 days left of the year. The 70th day on the Gregorian calendar is March 11th, 3/11. Now, if you go to 11/3 on the 13 moon calendar, it's May 4th, a day we write 5/4. So I'm following the 5-4, and it seems like, you know, it's a potential possibility, but I guess we're going to see.
All right, we're going to see.
That's all I got for tonight.
We're going to see. I appreciate it. I always appreciate the 13 moon calendar observations. Thank you so much, friend. You have a good night.
All right, you do stay.
Just remember, don't overthink things. All right, let's go out to Delaware. What's going on, Delaware?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, man.
Well, what a great conversation. I really like the caller from New York who was talking about, you know, the RFID chips out in Kenya. I had no clue about that, but it's pretty mind-blowing.
I didn't either. I got to look into it.
Right. Same here, but long story short, I was hanging out with one of my friends a couple of days ago, and he was telling me about these books that were written by a man named Ingersoll Lockwood. And he wrote 3 books, and supposedly the books that he wrote about predicted Trump's presidency. One of the books is called 1900 or The Last President, and the other one is called Little Baron, and it actually describes some of the things that have taken place. You know, like during his inauguration. Well, in the book that the man wrote, he talks about how there was going to be protests and socialists in New York out on 5th Avenue. And the book talks about how Donald Trump's grandfather was supposedly friends with Nikola Tesla and got a hold of a time machine. And supposedly they've been time traveling. And I was doing some information on like the Hollow Earth. I don't know if you believe in the Hollow Earth. I'm not really too big on it, and a lot of information on the Hollow Earth theory. But the Mammoth Caves and the Ural Mountains on the western slope of Russia supposedly hold the entrances to where you can get in the Mammoth Cave. I got some numbers just keep it going. When you write out Hollow Earth, it equals 52. Like when you write out Earth, Hollow Earth theory sums to 93 and 228. Saturn equals 93. United States of America equals 228. Time travel equals 44. Just like the word clock. Hollow equals, never mind, my bad. Ural Mountains equals 52. Just like when you write out Hollow Earth and Earth. Also, the word Euro equals 52, as in Ural Mountains. Mammoth Cave sums to 42, like Freemason, and also sums 57, like Scottish Rite. Yeah, the book is the book and the video I watched about the book is pretty mind blowing because it just talks about like a whole bunch of events that are being taken place right now. Because the book was written in 1890. What was it? 1896. The book was written.
Right, which is 120 years. Right, that's 120 years before 2016 when he became president-elect, and inauguration day is on January 20th, 120, and Illuminati's 120. Actually, I wrote about this, it looks like September of 2017. Yeah, it's making the rounds though right now. This is making a wave because a lot of people are hearing about this, but this was big. There was a wave of this story in September of 2017. That's when I wrote about it as well. It looks like it started to make the waves because what publication is this? It's some UK publication. The Daily Mail put out a story about this August 2nd, 2017, which of course was a date with 47 numerology, the big Trump number. So,
right.
Yeah.
How you feel about it? Yeah, how you feel about it?
Well, what I wondered at the time is if it was like from Wag the Dog, where they just create stuff and put it in the historical archives kind of to mock us, or if this is predictive programming more than a century in advance. And it could be either.
I think it's the predictive programming. Yeah, I think it's the predictive programming. Predictive programming years in advance.
Yeah.
Because how in the hell is this man going to sit here and write a book about events that are being taken place 125 years later? Like, come on, like that's just.
Well, we're going to commercial right now, everybody. We'll be right back. Sit tight, caller.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're on commercial. I will talk to the chat. Austin Roberts, I appreciate your calls, brother. You're no disservice to the work. Don't feel that way. Looking for the truth 100% here. But yeah, that book he was just calling about, I mean, what are the odds that it's 120 years before 2016? Again, Illuminati with the alphabetic order is 120. January 20th, what they moved inauguration day to. A lot of people don't know that no pass interference call, the ref, he played for the Rams once upon a time. He used to be a Ram, the guy who didn't blow the whistle. The mockery. Yep, the Boston Redskins. That was part of our reason we thought in the before the season began that the Redskins might have a shot at the Patriots this year. I predicted there'd be some sort of native genocide theme for the 99th NFL season because the United States of America equals 99. It began with the genocide. And then we got the genocide ritual on Christopher Columbus Day. The Redskins got wasted by the Saints. The two baseball teams got eliminated from the playoffs all on the same day. Genocide equals 62. The score of the football game was 62 combined points, 43-19. And then in baseball, I believe it was the Braves got eliminated by the Dodgers 6-2. Or if it wasn't that game, it was the American League game where the Indians got eliminated. I think that score was 1-13 though. The Astros beat the Indians 1-13, like how they played in the 113th World Series. But and then think about what happened in the AFC Conference Championship. The Patriots beat the Chiefs, the other native team, for the conference championship. So we were right to think that there'd be a genocide theme before the season even began. There absolutely was. And by the numbers. Couldn't have been any more perfect. I should do more WWE content. Remember how last year the Super Bowl was right after the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia? Look at who just won the women's Royal Rumble and see if you can get some clues there from the cities those people are from. The other year we saw the Royal Rumble won by a guy from Boston over a guy from Atlanta, and then the Patriots beat the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to commercial. We're coming back to the show, I think. We're back, Truth Seeker. We got an hour and a half left. Again, we're streaming live on YouTube tonight if you want to join the chat over there. We're taking your calls, 213-233-3998. Delaware, we're coming back to you. We got cut off by the commercial. You can finish up your thoughts. We got a long line. You're back on, brother.
Okay, I'll go ahead and end it. I found some notes on the WWE Royal Rumble that I did or that I had in my phone about the championships and the people. So I'm just gonna end it on this. WWE Universal Championship sums to 123 in the full reduction, same as WWE United States Champion, 123, like the word conspiracy. WWE Raw Women's Championship sums to 119, like Star David, like All Seeing Eye, and Ronda Rousey is the WWE Raw Women's Champion. The winner of the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble, her name is Becky Lynch. Her name sums to 45 in the full reduction and the reverse full reduction. The winner of the Men's 2019 Royal Rumble, his name is Seth Rollins, but his real name is Kobe Lopez. He once held the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and his name sums to 131 and 139. When you write out USA Network, which is a network that is provided by WWE, it sums to 39, 147, and 123. When you write out WWE Network, it sums to 113 in reverse ordinal. Ronda Rousey, her name, Ronda Rousey, sums to 84. The phrase baddest bitch sums to 74 in a reverse full reduction and 227 in a reverse ordinal. When you write out the phrase baddest bitch on the planet, it sums to 227 in the English ordinal. And Becky Lynch chose to fight Ronda Rousey, and Seth Rollins chose to fight the meathead Brock Lesnar.
All right. Hey, next time you do your decode, look at where those fighters are from. That's where the big clue is here for the Super Bowl. So keep up the good work, man. And just as a reminder, when you call in, just try to stick to one number and really bring it home with that one number and the point, because other people will be like, wait, what's all these numbers mean? They don't know it if they don't decode it. So I appreciate it, though, man. You keep up the good work. You have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, man. All right. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see Jonathan on the line. How are you this evening?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I'm good. Hey, how are you?
Doing all right.
Hey. Okay. Well, I'll try to keep it quick. I just want to piggyback off what Zenith was saying. With 6ix9ine, the thing with 6ix9ine is that he has no talent. The only reason he blew up was because he's a troll. You know, we live in a nation of trolls.
Sure.
So, you know, he just trolls other rappers, gets in beef with other rappers. And then the reason he's in jail right now, or part of the reason he's in jail right now, is because he's with, this shows you how fake he is, okay? So he used to be a Crip, now he's a Blood, right? So, they him and his crew recorded, they were going around New York and they were doing some robberies. He was recording it from his phone. And then they'll go beat somebody up and record it. They'll get in shootouts and he'll record it. And he'd record this and it was all on his phone, you know, just to get street cred. You know, it's not like, you know, like in the 90s, hip hop, the music used to be about the rapper. It used to be about the talent and the actual music. Nowadays, it's just about who control the artist. Who has street cred. Supposedly has street cred because he recorded him and his crew doing all this stupid stuff. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the NFL real quick.
Please.
All right, so think about it. If the NFL was real, then something fair that they could do is they would allow the referee to change the call in real time. Okay, it's an egregious call, so let's just correct it on the spot.
Did you see that that's what they're doing now next year? They've already announced that they're introducing for the instant replay next year that they can review if it was pass interference or not.
Oh, yeah?
That's what they love to do. It's just like they love to have a controversy and then make a new rule out of it. It's part of the scripting. That's my take on it.
Exactly, because there's already too many rules anyway.
Right.
So, all right. So I just have some notes on just my thoughts on the Patriots-Chiefs game. Okay, so as far as that game goes, I'm sure everybody saw it. There's a rough passer, then there's a roughing the Brady. You can't put your hands on him.
Right.
So, basically for that lineman to have the audacity to touch Brady's shoulders, he should have been ejected from the game. Think about it. Think about it. It's really incredible. Not many quarterbacks could have came back and won the game after taking a vicious hit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It's just such a joke, man. How I can't believe people it just kills me, man. For people who don't know what he's talking about, people on the live stream, the lineman reached over the defensive lineman reached over the offensive lineman's shoulder and tapped Brady in his shoulder pad like this, and they called it roughing the passer, and then that extended the drive. Because wasn't it 3rd and long before that call was made, or was it going to 4th down? They were in a bad position before that call was made.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 7. It was, I think it was 3rd and 7 or 2nd. And they were in a bad situation. It was 3rd and 7, and then it was an incomplete pass. But because of the roughing the passer, they gave him 15 yards.
Right, and a new first down.
And the first down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, that wouldn't have been a flag in a flag football game.
Right. I mean, no, it was just nothing. It was nothing.
I mean, so as far as you said, as them reviewing the pass interference, that's good. I mean, let the head judge be able to review it and say, after the referee on the field makes the call, it should be, maybe have the head judge be able to review it and say, after review, we decided it's no foul, or it is a foul. Doesn't matter how long it takes as long as they get it right.
They're probably saving that for next year. They probably have to do another skit next year's playoffs, then add that, one new thing each year. Next year you can review pass interference. The year after that you can review roughing the passer, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Right. Just keep it right. Just a long, drawn out process.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL find so now back to the Rams and the Saints play. A lot of people are complaining about that it should have been a pass interference call. And I like your caller last week was saying that that referee used to play for the Rams.
Right.
The one that didn't call the pass interference.
Right.
I thought that was really interesting. Now the NFL fined that cornerback. The NFL fined the Rams cornerback $26,000 for the hit on the Saints wide receiver. Right? So think about it. The NFL fined him, but during the game it was considered a legal play.
Right.
Think about that.
Just more mockery.
And think about that number, 26,000, and we keep talking about that same number.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one last point, and I'll let you keep moving. Okay, now I'm back in Tallahassee just for a minute. So as we know, Florida is a place where all these false flags go down and all these hoaxes. So they've been building up. They've been building this up to get to this point. 2 years ago at the Martin Luther King parade, 8 people supposedly got shot.
Right.
Then the Parkland shooting. Then the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando.
There's so many, man. There's just so many in Florida. There's so many. The yoga, the high school football game. There's just been like a ton.
Okay, so now this is now my point is that there's a whole bunch of they did all this, and now there's a petition in Florida that's going to prohibit the possession of defined assault weapons. So, so they're trying to get this on the ballot. They need 1 million signatures. You know, I mean, people in Florida, they love guns. So I don't know if it's going to pass or not. Either way, they're going to do whatever they want to do anyway.
In Broward County. In Broward County, last spring, they passed a law there that allowed them to repossess guns of certain citizens. I forget if it was like if they had some criminal record, and they took hundreds of guns from citizens in Broward County. That happened last year in Florida.
I got to look that up.
Yeah.
So I got my hand up on the petition. Look what this says. Prohibits possession of assault weapons defined as semi-automatic rifles and shotguns capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition at once, either in a fixed or detachable magazine or any other ammunition feeding device. Possession of handguns is not prohibited. Except military and law enforcement personnel in their official duties, and creates criminal penalties for violation of this amendment. So think about it. They want to take guns away from the people, but they don't want to take guns away from military and law enforcement. And what people don't realize is that these are the people doing the false flags, and these are the people doing the hoaxes.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's crazy. It's like they're building all this up. They do all these false flags just to take away guns with, you know, but they don't want to take guns away from the real criminals. You know, they want to take guns away from the people.
Absolutely. They want it so people can't fight back at all. They're disarmed. They're toothless. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, that's all I have for tonight, though, bro.
Okay, well, call me up too. I've been waiting for your call so we can get your YouTube channel set up. You got to call me, man.
Okay, I will. I'll do that.
I've been waiting for that call. We got to get the Jonathan Meggie channel going, man.
We'll do that. I'm gonna make sure I call you at least by sometime this weekend. I'll call you.
Okay, I'm looking for the call, man. Make sure you call me on the 206 number.
On the 206? All right, I got it.
Yeah. All right, later, man. You have a good night.
All right.
See you.
Peace.
All right, we got another caller up, Ohio. I think first-time caller. How are you this evening?
Hey, how's it going, Zach? Bow and arrow.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
I found something interesting. You hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, cool. All right, I was watching television, and a commercial came up on Fox News, and it said the new 0811 Gen 2 drivers, talking about a golf club. How would the model be called 0811? That's just, I mean, what else could that refer to except for what's coming up? And driver sums to 41. So, you know, like the necktie and everything when Robin Williams was born on 8/11 and all this. So something's weird about this. I just it's kind of freaky on that. Another thing I noticed that July 4, when I look back, was the 17th of Tammuz, the destruction of the walls of Jerusalem. Not the temples, but it seems to go hand in hand with the 9th of Av. So I'm wondering and this is the theory, see what you think about this, but if July 4th was the beginning of that pairing of the 17th of Tammuz, 9th of Av, could this 9th of Av, this 8/11 event, be what they would consider the end of America?
Possibly. I'd like to think we're not that far along yet, but I mean, possibly. That's why the time is now to act and shut down this tyranny and take a stand. And each day we wait, the further we got to climb up the mountain. So.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm also wondering, like, sometimes I feel like we're missing some of the rules for how to apply this. Like, maybe if we knew the same rules that they use to encode it, we'd be able to find the predictions perfectly. And I'm wondering if, you know, you read one of the Masonic books I heard you talk about where you learned about the code to begin with. And I'm wondering if there might be more information for some of the rules for how they use it. And maybe we can find some more of their books to find out exactly what they're doing when they're coding it, so that we can make predictions about what they're going to do more clearly.
That's possible. Who knows all what's hidden out there? So that's just a matter of doing enough research and reading to see if we can dig up some juicy nuggets. So.
Sure. What was the name of the book where you got that code? I wanted to
The
find
Secret
it
Teachings.
get a copy of it.
The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall.
Okay.
There's a lot of information in that book, and it's a big book with a lot of information, and there's just a small section on gematria, and he gives away hardly anything. He says, you know, there's two ciphers, you know, that you might want to try out: the alphabetic order and then the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. And he says that the one with numerology is the one to really lead with. On Derek's calculator, what we would call the dark blue cipher, the one that I've used the most. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, all right, man. I want to let some more people talk, but that's all I had for today.
All right. Appreciate it. You have a good night. Young man who's from Berkeley, he called in earlier this week to a live stream, and he noticed that another name for the Golden Gate, which the Jewish Messiah is supposed to arrive from, it's also known as the Gate of Mercy. And lo and behold, when you write out Gate of Mercy, just using the alphabetic order, it sums to 118, like 11/8. And again, that's how we started looking at the date, August 11th, 2019, because it's Tisha B'Av, to remember the destruction of the two temples, which is connected to the prophecy of the coming third temple. And when the third temple is built or being built, that's when the Jewish Messiah is supposed to arrive. So how strange that the Golden Gate is also known as the Gate of Mercy, and Gate of Mercy sums to 118. All right, let's go out to East Bay. Hopefully his phone's working. What's up, East Bay? East Bay. Oh, man. It's too bad that I bet you he's trying to talk right now. East Bay. Come on. East Bay, they're just killing this guy's phone signal. He can't even get a word in anymore. East Bay. All right. Sorry, East Bay. I know you're out there, man. Your voice isn't coming through at all. They have sabotaged your phone line. Let's go out to New York City. How are you today, New York?
Hi, is that Danny?
Let me boost your volume. All right, you're good.
I got 3 points I want to get to. My first point is, this is quick. Did you hear about the Clemson, the 74% of the Clemson black players did not attend the White House, but only 15 out of 57 black players went to the White House when he had the McDonald's for the players. Did you see that story?
I didn't. I got to look that up.
So the 74%, that's what stuck out to me when they said 74%. So they said only 15 out of the 57 players went. Okay, my next point is, did you see, I was watching MSF, what's that, Morning Joe on NBC this morning, and Howard, the Starbucks CEO, Howard Schultz, whatever his name is, he was on there talking about that he don't think that rich people should be taxed over 7% or whatever. He said that they work hard. He said that he grew up in the projects in New York and he worked hard for his money. So he's saying that billionaires shouldn't be taxed. And he's saying that we should have health care for all and free tuition and whatever. And he basically what he's saying is that it shouldn't be a level playing field for the people on the bottom. Basically, basically what he's saying is the billionaires should control whatever they want to control and should not be taxed, and we should be taxed more.
Well, that's exactly what we see going on in the nation. I mean, that is what's going on. They pay less and less, and they get more tax write-offs, and we get more of the burden. That's what's been going on since the 80s.
But what made me so mad was when he tried to act like he grew up so poor. He got it so hard and poor in the projects or whatever. I'm like, I don't even believe this story.
Right.
I don't believe this story. He grew up in the project and he grew up hard and he earned everything he got and whatever. I bet you he had connections. He had connections. He grew up and he's Jewish, so he had connections.
Right.
Okay, this is my third and final point. When you're talking about how we can get people to wake up, the first thing you got to do, it got to start with the Freemasonry. Because I bet you ask a normal American, they would think, ask anybody in the world, they'll think Freemasonry is good. And that's the problem right there. Freemasonry is not good. So we need to start with the Freemasons. That's what we need to start with.
Right, right.
People need to not think that Freemason is not good. Freemason is against us. Freemasons are not for us. They are a secret society. We can show them that anniversary Halloween party where they was mocking us with George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. And people still, that's what we need to start with, the Freemasons. That's what we need to start with.
Yeah, you make great points.
Because most of all these people, world leaders from all these countries all the countries in Africa that got problems, their leaders are part of the brotherhood. All these countries in South America that got problems, they're in the brotherhood. So they all connected in that brotherhood. So it all comes down to the Freemasonry. So basically, instead of trying to tell people about the Gematria, let's tell them about the Freemasonry. Like a lot of people, I see a lot of videos on YouTube about people exposing the Freemasons. It's like people been doing it for years and years, and then people still ain't wake up to it. Like the people who was in the Freemasons, who got out of the Freemasons, they try to tell you what the Freemasons are about, and they still don't care.
That's just it right there. People just don't care.
And another thing I was thinking about, you ever seen those big vans, like they got the LD screen on it? So you should have a screen like that. If somebody can have a lot of money, buy one of those big vans with the LD big 50 or 80-inch screens and just play that Freemason celebration, Halloween celebration, and just play it and blast it loud at all the sports events. And just go around Washington, D.C., just driving that van and just playing it, and just playing it, blasting it loud. The police might lock us up for noise pollution, whatever they want to call it. But that's what we should do, stuff like that. But that takes money to do that.
Right. Money and resources, you're right.
So let's put like a big screen in front of all their games, just ride around. Like people go to all their games and just ride around and show them all that. It shows that the Freemasons control your politics, they control your movie, they control your TV, they control your media, they control everything. And look how they make fun of you. Look how they make fun of you. Show videos about the Titanic, about how the Titanic had to go down for the Federal Reserve to be here. So you gotta throw facts to them. So most of the people know this and they still don't care. So I guess you just gotta keep throwing it in their face till they get it. And the people that say that Freemasonry is not bad, well, just let them perish now. You just got the people who know the truth, we just move on. Let them just, the people who don't want to join the fight, just let them perish, and that's it. Because I don't think we don't need no negative energy. All they're doing is dragging us down. If they want to open to the truth, let them be open to the truth. That's how I see it. So that's all I want to say to that.
Well, I appreciate it. You're extra passionate tonight. I like it, and you're right on point. You have a good night, man.
All right, good night.
All right, take care. What he's talking about, it just reminds me, I always go with this debate. What is the bigger problem here in our society? Is it the elite that, do all these terrible things to us, lie to us, poison our skies, our foods? Are they worse, or are the people who don't care? And somebody out there right now is already thinking, no, Zach, it's not the people. It's not their fault. They're victims of the poisoning and the mind control and the programming. And I hear that. But at the same time, it's like, what sets us apart? The people who see and care versus all the people who you go and you reach out to them and you share this knowledge with them. And they pretty much spit back in your face and say, oh, some conspiracy theorist, or, oh, tinfoil hat, or, oh, I don't care about all that. Or, you know, I mean, we have a real crisis here in our population about caring. I realized this a long time ago, that people just don't care overwhelmingly. And just having these discussions the last 2 weeks on this radio program, I guess here we are in week 3 now, talking about similar topic. What are we going to do? It seems that as a consensus, we feel that it's near impossible to fight back against the tyranny. So what we're going to have to do is break out of the system and create our own way, which is something that has a lot of obstacles in itself. And I mean, the thing is about breaking out of the system and creating our own sustainable community that's free of the tyranny. The problem with that, though, is the tyranny still goes on. You know, people are still suffering in the world from the tyranny. So, yeah, there's so many things that need to be overcome, but that doesn't mean to drop out of the fight or join the forces of evil. It's just like we have to keep fighting and figuring out ways to fight more effectively and harder. The music should be kicking in here any moment. When we come back, we're taking calls from, let me see, Downey. Oh, we got music kicking in. Be right back. Downey, California, Tennessee, Anaheim, Bar Mills, Maine, Illinois, California, Texas, Cincinnati. Sit tight. We'll be right back, everybody. All right. While we're on commercial break, I'll come out here to the chat. Earthquake, California, Maryland. They happened at the same time? Let me see. I'm just taking a peek here. Missed this story. Earthquakes in California and Maryland. I'm going to have to research it later. The most recent one's not popping up right away. January 16th and 17th, huh? Okay. Yeah, I see a 4.7 off the coast of Maryland. It's funny because Maryland and Gematria is 47. So I have to go back and check that out. JPL NSSA, I don't know what that is. NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Got about 30 more seconds of commercials here. I would say the elite do want us to destroy ourselves. I mean, they give us all this poison and toxicity. So Washington's 130. What state? 19, 39, 40, 65. So I guess Washington State would be 195.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal. More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It's the last hour. We're taking your calls. This is the Gematria Effect. Next up, we're going out to Downey, California. How are you?
Going down, Zach. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. How are you?
How's it going, man? Hey, I just kind of wanted to share something I came across in Spanish in Gematria.
Okay.
Let's see. Pascua in Spanish equals 61, which is Lent. Of course, miracle equals 61 also, and Ash Wednesday. Oh man, I lost my notes, man.
That's okay.
That's all I had, man. I lost my notes.
Well, that's all right.
Sorry about that, but yeah, I also wanted to drop my email address because I heard a couple people locally from where I'm from. Like a couple weeks ago, I heard someone from Whittier, and that's where I'm from. So that would be. I haven't met anyone from Whittier that knows Gematria. So my email address is la.system@yahoo.com. If anyone wants to, get together or whatnot.
Is it LA?
We'll exchange.
Say it again. Say it again. Is it LAsystem@yahoo.com?
No, la.system@yahoo.com.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, man. And yeah, I lost my notes. I had it all on my phone, and then if I don't use my phone in a minute, it erases everything. So I just want to say thanks for everything that you do, Zach. Appreciate that. I support on every single thing that you do. I got your book. I got your Patreon. I'm gonna get your second book. You know what I mean? Well, I got your support out here. We got your support out here, man.
Well, I appreciate it, friend. You can always call back with those notes. I look forward to it. I want to hear what you got to say, but save it for next week or whenever you can call back again. So keep up the good work, and thank you for calling in, man. You have a good night.
Right on.
All right, take care.
Good night.
All right, let's go out to Tennessee. What's going on, Tennessee?
No more.
Tennessee, you're on. Tennessee? Tennessee, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right, or were you ready? Did you want to talk?
Oh, sorry. Come back.
All right, I'll come back. All All right, let's go out to Anaheim, California.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Do you know what this is?
Is it Berkeley?
Yes, it is. Yes, I just want to make a few points on the upcoming Super Bowl.
Okay.
How I think it has a lot to do with Saturn as well. And before I get into the decode, I just want to give a quick shout out to Woke Sports and Auspicious. And we do a lot of decodes throughout the week, and not all of this is solely my findings. I just want to shout them out real quick. So just think about how Tom Brady has been. There's been this theme about how he's the oldest quarterback to play in the Super Bowl, and his age is a big issue, right? He's 41 years old. Super Bowl equals 41. There was a series called Tom versus Time, which came out recently.
Right.
More than a year ago. Tom versus Time, right? Has a lot to do with Saturn, the keeper of time. And, that number 237 we're looking at, which will be Tom Brady's next win, that number actually has come up a lot before. Have you ever seen the movie The Shining?
Oh, yeah. Kubrick? Oh, yeah.
I personally have not, but apparently that movie had a lot to do with, Saturn, right? And the big number in that movie is 237, as in room 237.
Right.
Again, I have not seen the movie, so I can't really go into depth on the movie itself. But what's interesting is that Tom Brady actually did a commercial with a mattress company, and that commercial was a minute long. It came out, I want to say, around 2 years ago, and it was a play on that movie, The Shining. And in the commercial, they show the room 237. That's actually where it leads off, with Tom Brady going into room 237. And in the commercial itself, you can just pick up on all the Saturn symbology. So, and there's some breakdowns on YouTube as well for people who are curious. It's still on YouTube. You can go look it up yourself. What's interesting is that...
What should we search on YouTube to find that clip with him going into room 237?
You can probably just type in Tom Brady mattress commercial.
Okay.
The commercial itself was called Dream in Black. Like, that was the title of the commercial.
Okay.
Dream in Black equals 93, like the Saturn number.
Huh.
And before I move on to the next point, that number 237, which I remind will be Tom Brady's next win if he wins in the Super Bowl.
Right.
237, there's deeper importance to the number 237 with Saturn. And if you don't believe me, just understand that movie came out years ago, and that movie was all about Saturn and the number 237.
Well, and
if you do 237.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to just say that 237 is the prime factorization of 42. 2 times 3 times 7 is 42. Saturn has a gematria of 42. 42 breaks down to 6 in numerology. Saturn's the 6th planet from the sun. Tom Brady is going to turn 42 in the off season, so.
Yeah, that's perfect. So 237, I also want to add 237. If you add its reflection, which is 732, you get 969, which is the speed of Saturn. 9.69 kilometers per second is what they say is the speed of Saturn. Now, going deeper into that commercial, the company that did this commercial is Simmons Betting Company. And Simmons Betting Company has a gematria of 99 in the most pure cipher, like the 99th NFL season. It also has a 969 gematria, and I believe that's in Satanic. Also has a 411 in reverse Francis Bacon, and the Patriots currently have 411 losses. The same phrase, Simmons Betting Company, also equals 1404 in English extended, like 144, the big time number. I'm just trying to establish this connection between this company and Saturn and time. Simmons Betting Company also equals 63, and that's in the Parsley cipher.
63, huh?
You know which cipher I mean by the Parsley cipher, right?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what cipher. You're a good listener to even know. Yeah, I can tell you pay attention.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Simmons by itself equals 42, like you mentioned. That's also Saturn. Saturn equals 42. Saturn also equals 26, again in the Parsley cipher. 26. That's a big number we're looking at, Saturn. So now I'm trying to establish a relationship between this upcoming Super Bowl and Saturn. From the date Jared Goff signed with the Rams, which would be June 10th, 2016, to Super Bowl 53 is 969 days, like the speed of Saturn once again.
Huh.
And Super Bowl 53 will be Goff's 42nd game. Saturn again equals 42. Goff equals 69 in Jewish. That's another Saturn number. Saturn equals 69. If you type in L-I-I-I, like the Roman numerals of 53, it also equals 69.
Huh.
Atlanta equals 69, where the game will be played. Recently, Tom Brady did that big rally, and ESPN reported apparently like 3,500 people or 35,000 people showed up.
Right, 35,000.
The video they released along with that article was 35 seconds long, and that's the Tom Brady number. During that rally, they showed a clip of, in the same 35-second video, they showed a clip of Tom Brady basically leading a chant saying, "We're still here. We're still here."
I saw that. I saw that, man. He's such. God, I hate that guy, man. Ugh.
Yeah. Anyways, that phrase equals 69 again, like the Saturn number.
Huh.
Brady will be exactly 41 years and 6 months old on the day of the Super Bowl, meaning he'll be exactly 6 months away from his 42nd birthday, right? 42 once again. Saturn equals 42. And think about the theme that we've been talking about with Tom and time.
Right.
Again, Saturn is also 6th planet. Tom Brady going for his 6th win. Let's see here. This part's a little bit abstract, but if you type in just Saturn tribute, 63 in the Parsley and 53 in the most pure cipher.
Huh.
See what else. Yeah, I'm kind of disorganized right now, but that's pretty much what I have right now. At that commercial, I was just doing some digging on it, and just crazy how much lines up with this upcoming Super Bowl, and I think Saturn will be a big theme on the day of that game. So
I think you're right. You went to Berkeley, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so that's disorganized by Berkeley standards. Amazing. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you, Zach.
All right, yeah, you have a good night. It's like one of the best decodes of all time. Sorry, I'm a little disorganized tonight. I went to Berkeley. Yeah, that guy's real good. He's the same guy that caught the Gate of Mercy 118 thing. And there's more to that as well. So let's see. We got we're halfway to the next commercial break. I think we got a first-time caller from Maine. How are you, Maine?
Hey, Zach. First-time caller. It's Jerry. What's going on, man?
Appreciate you phoning in.
Hey, I'm sure you've brought this up before, but I'm sure I ever heard it. And that's the Golden Gate is at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem.
Right, exactly.
Also, I wanted to bring up that Set equals 19. Now, Set is chaos and opposition. So we constantly see these people acting out these plays between Osiris, Isis, Horus, and Set. So my thinking on it is with a lot of the false flags I've been reading that rock for the sun is the ramp. So that's just my vote on the Super Bowl there. But yeah, I'm not sure if you brought up Set before, but Set is super important to the whole chaos thing, and that is 19.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right on. You make a great point. So glad to hear you calling in, man. I don't think you've ever called into the show before. I've had you on as a guest, but I like that you're calling in.
Yeah, no, everything's good. I just wanted to share that because this act they keep on playing out is what we need to get a hold of, is the fact that, they're going to play this thing out where in their symbology, Set is the one that overcomes chaos, or a horse is the one that overcomes chaos. We can't let somebody that they control become the horse. So we almost have to figure out how to grab a hold of the horse position to fight and overcome chaos. And, because we have to stop their own act and take it over. And, that's just my position on it. I wanted to add that. Other than that, have a good night, man.
Oh, hold on, don't go yet. Why don't you plug your YouTube channel so you can get some more viewers? You make a lot of good videos, and you don't have enough of an audience.
Last time I got too many viewers, they knocked my channel. So I encourage people to go to my BitChute, because if I get too many views on YouTube, they just nail me and hit me with a strike.
Okay, what's your BitChute? What's your BitChute channel?
BitChute, all you have to do is go into the search bar, type in Jerry, Jerry. I'm the first person that pops up there, and that's all you got to do.
Okay. Very good. All right, Jerry, good to hear your voice, man. Great observation.
You too.
All right, have a good night. So there's some people who think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. It will definitely be a little bit of a surprise to me, but the two big numbers on the board for the Rams winning the Super Bowl is they could get their 16th win of the season. 53 is the 16th prime. Jared Goff wears number 16. And if the Patriots lost, they'd be 13-6, counting the regular season and playoffs, kind of like 136, which is the 16th triangular. Remember, I put out that video on YouTube the night of the news of the supposed suicide of the figure skater, the big athlete in Kansas City. He was 33 years old, and I showed all the encoding in his name, and I showed how his name had that big 136 connection. And I said, if you want to know who's going to win the AFC Championship, you just go see which team can get their 16th win against the other, Chiefs or Patriots. I said, you go look, and a bunch of people looked. They said, oh, the Patriots can get their 16th win. I said, well, there you go. That's who's going to win the AFC Championship. But the Rams, Jared Goff, number 16, he can also get his 16th loss of the season. Stay at 26 wins, the big magic number. So you go with your guns. There's a lot of facts that lean towards the guys with the flag on their helmet. Let's go out to Illinois. Illinois, what's going on?
Hey there, bro.
Hey, man.
Yeah, some of they were saying, and I can probably fill in a few blanks. For The Shining, it's a whole bunch of symbols in that movie. The 237 he's talking about is when Danny he stands up with a rocket on his chest saying USA, and the whole the pattern on the floor, that's like Cape Canaveral.
Sure.
That number 39 launch pad thing that goes down, yeah. And Danny walks over to that door. That's room 237. That's called the Moon Room. And in the Moon Room, it's a room where he's not really supposed to, I guess, not know about it, but he goes in, he gets hurt. When his mother comes and looks at him, she said, what's that bruise in your neck? That basically was talking about Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick was being told not to do certain things in that movie, or really 2001 is where that kind of started. But it was to keep him quiet, because he was telling too many secrets, and he was revealing things. Then too, like when Jack Torrance or Nixon comes to the front of the motel from the beginning, he's talking to that guy that's the manager. He's supposed to be JFK. And in that room that he talks to him, that eagle that sits on the desk, that's supposed to be a symbolization of Apollo 1 mission, the insignia.
Interesting.
Behind him is a window, the open window. It's like a 1-1 looking type thing. That means 11. So Apollo mission 11.
Okay.
What he said about, and what someone said about Saturn, and I love talking about this because I write most of it in my books. Saturn is pretty much Father Time. Saturn is an inhibitor, meaning that in terms of money, and I'm talking about maritime type money currency, it's controlled. So they don't want us to have money. That's an inhibitor. The elites, of course, and you know this, of course, is Saturn. So the Saturn Brotherhood is one of the clans, I guess that's one of them, other than the Illuminati, that pretty much keep tabs on things like that. And when Kubrick tried to make that one movie, he did Eyes Wide Shut, they told him not to do it because of what he was going to reveal in that movie. And that's what got him took out. So I'm new to Gematria. I'm looking at some of the ciphers. And I did type in Stanley Kubrick, and I used them for Francis Bacon cipher. And I checked the name out. I think it was telling me that for under satanic was 661. The reverse order was 207. The reverse full reduction was 90. The Francis Bacon was 223. So I'm gonna have to look through some of his stuff to see if I can master that with some things.
Do you know that he died 666 days before 2001?
Exactamundo, and that was in 1999.
Right. Right.
Yep, I'm right there with you. See, I'm trying to finish this book up that I'm doing now, and you gave me a lot of ideas. So it's like the stuff that I know, man. You're really good to Gematria. I'm on the spectral end of just conspiracy.
If you write out,
so it's like,
so just simple things to know. Just using the alphabetic order. If you just use the alphabetic order, A is 1 up to Z is 26. If you write out Space Odyssey, it sums to 156. And if you write out 6 as a word, SIX, 666, it's 156 too. And again, 666 days before 2001. So.
Yep, you're absolutely right. I mean, I follow you on that. I mean, I understand some of it because it's coming to me. But how I discovered Gematria was through maritime admiralty law. But I'm writing a book about maritime admiralty concepts, and that's how I found it out. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because cash flow and then money. So it is dealing with numbers.
Right.
And this man, I want to stay along, but I can't. But I know that one guy that talked about time travel. I'll say that, and then I'm out of your hair. For the time travel idea, it was the Montauk Project. And the Montauk Project was done by Preston Nichols. He did a video on that years ago, VHS. Al Bulick and Duncan Cameron. And from that crash from Roswell, this is what I want to put in your ear because I know you probably looked this up. Roswell happened July 8th, 1947. When that ship crashed, supposedly what happened was they went in and got the chair. The chair inside the ship is basically the power mechanics of the ship. Like in that TV show Dollhouse, when they put someone in that TV show Dollhouse, remember that one with Eliza Duku, they can implant information into your mind and make you become a different person. It kind of aligns with the same thing with that chair. The chair is the mechanic that powered the whole mechanism because they used the power plant of the Philadelphia experiment to fuel the whole engine to make it all work. And it was using different type of mechanics to constrain it, to open up a time portal. They used somebody that was a psychic. This was Duncan Cameron, because they was kidnapping homeless people and kids back in the 70s, and used to hold it open. This is from what I was just reading. And people could actually walk into the tunnel long as someone could actually hold it open, and they used that Delta T antenna. It's a special antenna you need in order to make it all like to make it sort of like manifest into real in a way. Kind of like that movie Videodrome.
Huh. I haven't seen some of these films you're bringing up, so I'll have to check them out.
Yep, it's heavy, man. I have to email you because I'm doing some things myself. I'm trying to get some stuff going. I'll probably will get into the pick eventually with the I guess what you call it, the sports. That's new to me too. I mean, I'm not like the one young lady they called and said wants to just follow me for the money. That's not me. I just need some money so I can try to help get my other stuff started. But right. I like to help people, and that's why I call into your show because I want to share some of that. You know, because I heard some people telling you things. That's all of what I know is what they're telling you.
You said you have a book?
I actually have other books out.
Okay, you want to promote them real quick?
I need to know you that. Huh?
Do you want to promote your books?
That was not done yet, multi-average law, because, or concept, I'm sorry. Multi-average, I'm sorry, concept. But what they're speaking on, I'm writing about, and some of the stuff that I was talking about with the Great Tatari, which is another part of the book. But yeah, give me your email. Let me see, let me get a paper and pen because I'm trying to get some things going here. I'm tired, but because I got to go to work in the morning. But what's your email?
So it's the name of this program, Gematria Effect News @gmail.com.
Okay, I got you. Same as the website. At gmail.com. All right.
All right, caller. I appreciate it. You call us back soon.
Most definitely, man. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, you have a good night. Take care. New caller. He's got some good information. East Bay called back in. Maybe his cell phone's working out. What's up, East Bay? Oh, my God. I go to him and then it disconnects. East Bay. I'm sorry, man. Call back. We'll try again. Let me go out to Pinehurst, Texas.
Zach?
Yeah, you're on. Oh, hey,
something
Pinehurst, I screwed up. We're going to commercial like in 10 seconds. Let me get you after the break, and then we'll be right there.
No, just go ahead to the next caller, man, okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm working on something, but I don't have it prepared for this week, okay?
Okay, next week then. All right, you have a good night.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back, everybody. The commercial music's supposed to be kicking in. I don't hear it, but it's on the timer that should be playing right now. See, maybe we're just going to go into the commercial on silence. Somebody just got a book. Thank you. All right, Truth Seeker, we're going to commercial. We'll be right back. We got 30 minutes left.
Extendivite is more.
All righty, we got 30 minutes left. Thank you, everyone who's tuned in and listened tonight. Just as a little heads up, there's only 3 people on hold right now, and one of them's East Bay, so no guarantee he's going to get through. He's been having some serious cell phone trouble. If anybody's never called in before, I always love first-time callers. The number is 213-233-3998. It's a Los Angeles phone number because that's where the TFR phone line is based out of. But should be a free call if you got long distance. I imagine most of you have cell phones and do. 213-233-3998. And again, that's it's in the description of the video. Thanks, John. Todd Gurley, Trump and America. I have not. Hello from Brazil. Very cool. Nice to know the word's getting down to Brazil. Thanks for tuning in. Gematria is different than the Bible code. They're different. We got a minute here till the commercial break. Somebody said Tupac and Biggie were killed by the FBI. Maybe. Sometimes I wonder if Tupac really died. I'm not sure if I covered that Casanova connection or not. I'll have to go back and look at that. There's a lot of things I've covered over the years that I forgot because I've covered so many things. Got about 20 seconds until we're back. Well, Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism is older than the Bible, and this code's from Kabbalah. All right, True Secrets, the final 30 minutes. We did a good job getting through the calls tonight because we only have 2 people on hold, so I think we're going to make it through the line. Again, if you do want to call in tonight, you'll definitely get through 213-233-3998. Again, 213-233-3998. Let's see if East Bay, we can get his phone to work. East Bay, are you there? Man. I'm sorry, East Bay. I know you got something brilliant to say, but it's just not working. I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. Well, thanks for keep calling back in and trying to get your voice out there. I wish it was working, but they got your signal cut off, man. All right, let's go out to Allen, Texas. What's going on?
What's up, Zach? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, last year on 10/22/17, no, this wasn't last year, this was 2017, I'm sorry. The first match after the Patriots beat the Falcons, you know how they play each other again in the next season?
Right.
Right. And that was a fog game, like fog for backwards as in golf.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, because, you know, I know how they do stuff backwards. And one of my friends, he showed me in the Bible where, like, how they're going to be putting stuff backwards and upside down. And, you know, we got to figure out the riddles like you do. So that was pretty cool.
And it makes sense.
That's all I got.
It makes a lot of sense, though, because now the Super Bowl's in Atlanta, and now he's facing Goff. So, yeah, I've seen it. Interesting.
Yeah, some other, you might go look it up and find some more interesting stuff about that game. But man, that's all I got. I just wanted to let you know that.
Well, I appreciate it. I hadn't heard that yet, so you brought something new to the table. Thank you very much. You have a good evening.
Yeah. All right, you too.
All right, take care. All right, let me go back to Tennessee real quick, and then we're going Cincinnati and Madison, Wisconsin. But let me see if Tennessee's ready to go here.
Hey, man, what's up, Zach?
Hey.
Hey, bud, this Tennessee calling from Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I called you. Yeah, but I called you about the 100 monkey effect a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Just calling you again. I told you I was getting a YouTube channel set up. It's called Divine Weed. So it's pretty much divine and then weed. It's pretty easy. But no, I found something on dailymail.co.uk. It's the Daily Mail. And this happened December 15th. And I just want to bring it up. I think it's organic. It's just something I found I don't think anybody's talked about. But real quick, family of a woman who's 33 left for dead by drunk Tinder date. She fell off the back of her motorbike in Florida. Did you hear about that? She was hit up to buy 9 cars.
I did not. No.
Oh, dude, this thing is so full of 369. It's ridiculous, man. So obviously the 33, and then she was hit on December 6th You got the 1, 2, and then the 6. So that's a 3, then a 6, and then she was also hit by up to 9 cars. So there's your 3, 6, 9. And then you can still look this up. I bookmarked it. The alleged driver drove a 2001 black Harley. Well, there's your 3. And then it says she fell off and was run over by as many as 9 vehicles. And it said December 6th, so that's just 369. It's just riddled all over this. So later on, as you go down, only 3 drivers pull up to help her. She was later found dead at 3 a.m. on December 7th. And you keep on going down, and you call this organic as whatever you want to call it, but you keep on going through this. It just said St. Clair was run over by 9 vehicles with only 3 drivers pulling over to help her. And I'm just scrolling down through here. The 911 call said, hang on, go down. It's in Broward County, Florida, by the way, which I tell all the callers to look up Broward County and just look up all the corruption that county's had in the last 10 to 15 years with Scott Israel. It's absolutely ridiculous, especially with the school shooting that they had last year. Give me a break. But it's funny, the lawsuit is seeking $15,000, so there's your 6. And again, it's just riddled with 369, man. And then I've noticed on the chat room that you go back to the Michael Jordan thing with the 369. It's just crazy, man. You start looking at this stuff, you see the 369 everywhere. And I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. It's something new, maybe you guys can look it up. Maybe you guys do a decode on it. I don't know. But that's all I got, bud.
I appreciate it. I'll check it out. I got the story pulled up right now. So thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, you too. All right. Let me just, East Bay's still online. Let me just see. East Bay, can you get through? Oh, man. Sorry, East Bay. All right, let's go out to Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati?
Yes.
Oh, you're on.
I talked to you earlier, Zach. Remember, you said you wouldn't hate on me because of the whole Trump thing, and I asked to maybe do an interview with you later.
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
The MK Ultra and also the human trafficking.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you, though. I don't trust a lot of channels. The reason why I came to your channel is because of what you're doing, your work. I'm pretty cool stuff.
Well, thank you.
I also have a gift too in numbers, very big gift in numbers. I have to admit though, and if you don't mind, I do respect everybody in chat. I'm not a troll, but when you say things like that's your own truth, I really wish that people would, practice discernment. My story is very telling. I don't like people getting striked on YouTube, so I have to be cautious in the things that I say in my truth. I was a victim of human sacrificing, witnessing a lot of things that were being done. I don't know why I was spared, but when I ran out into the field, I literally heard a voice in my head. I'm a very educated person. I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio, trying to make a life for myself now. But when people say in the chat, what God, how many God, there's only one. Trust me, there is. America is in trouble. I think everybody knows. You don't put Trump up as high as God, and that's what people's mistake is, what they're doing. You can't rely on Trump to do it. The only message that I got from Trump was when he said most powerfully at a rally, he's giving power back to the people. We are the power in this country, Zach, and I know how to utilize it. I just need people to get on board. There's children dying every second. Every second. When you're under bodies and you smell iron and blood, in a person's blood, it's very real. Human trafficking, executive order, he signed. He's not a saint. He's a sinner just like every single one of us. But let me tell you, he is the only hope we got. If the federal has to end, if the Fed don't end, and that's how they traffic all this I mean, all these court systems, Broward County, Donald Trump said, pay attention. A lot of corrupt things are going on. I've literally seen Israel speak Islamic to a bunch of people in a district in Broward County with a bunch of Muslim people that were on these carpet things in this jurisdiction. Also in Ohio, JR Engineering, I don't even care, needs to be investigated. Human trafficking is going on there too. It's going on in Indiana, it's worldwide. Our children are suffering. So if we can please set aside who we think should lead this country, that would be brilliant, because the ones that lead is us. We can fire these people. We can fire all the corrupt people. My God, we have to rise now. And I'm not talking violently, Zach. You wouldn't believe if you could just touch me and God would bless you to see the images in my head. My story is a billion other stories. I'm lucky to survive it, but I'm going to use a platform one day to tell mine. And it's horrible. And I was rescued. I was actually rescued from a couple that took me to Grand Prairie in Canada, in a different country. And I took a Greyhound bus for hundreds of miles till I got here safely. I got adopted, and I've been safe ever since. Truth Seeker, he's out there, one of your moderators, and he's probably heard my stories, some of it before. He even spoke on Morfugal. He reached out to me. I was so spooked by him reaching out to me because I didn't know if he was going to get me in danger again, because YouTube does monetize people. My family's scared, but they know I have to do this. I have to get the truth out because children are being sacrificed to false idols, and God is pissed off. So we need to wake up, because many nations will mourn America when she falls, because it's written in the Bible. It's written of the fall. And there's no reversing it, because God has a stench he can't bear no more in his nostrils, because they sacrificed his little ones to false idols. So just stop the whole, God, he's our only hope. I don't like Trump either, truth be known, but he was the only hope I seen when he said that he was going to end the Fed. That's where all the money is. Because they take advantage of people in CBS, in the court systems. I mean, these children are chained in basements. I'm sorry for being so emotional. Dear Christ, people wake up. It's all about money making on people's lives. People's lives are suffering. It's real, really real. I don't know what you have to say about it.
Well, caller, I really appreciate. I am. I'm just listening. I'm letting you have the floor. I mean, I'm listening. I've never been in such a horrible situation, so I can't personally relate. I can just imagine how traumatic and awful it is. I've worked in group homes with children who've been severely abused and sexually abused, and I know what that does to their lives. But I've never experienced anything such as what you have myself. And I don't know how much more you want to share about it. I have questions, but I don't want to press you on it because obviously it's personal.
It's okay.
Well, so
I'll have it as most powerful. If you can just yield for just a second, Ezekiel 23:37, where it says they have committed adultery and murder to abortions, sacrifice to idols. They killed God's children. We have laws that are passing right now in America to abort a fetus up to the day of birth. It's happening in Virginia, it's happening in Rhode Island, it's definitely happening in New York. And when I saw that witch, Hillary, get on that podium and speak with that damn governor, I was sickened. They are actually passing laws to get away with the crimes that they've committed, and we've got to stop this legislation. Look, the law's already passed for the abortions in these states that I have spoken of. The legislation and the bills that they're creating is making it far worse for women who are, now doctors are pulling away from it. They are literally pulling away from it. And in this legislation, it's saying that midwives, and not only midwives, but nurse practitioners can practice abortions. This not only puts the mother's life in a dangerous situation, but who's to say if you're not in New York and you're a loving family, caring family, looking forward to your firstborn, and that father happens to walk away for a split second, and they slice that woman's belly open to take that baby, and then they tell the family, oh, I'm sorry, but your baby died. These are laws that they're getting away with, and they've got to be stopped. They have to be stopped. This is about the children. It's not about Donald Trump. It's about we, the people. And this is worldwide. Worldwide. But if you go ahead, ask me any question you want, and I'm telling you, I will tell you the absolute truth. So ask away. I'm not afraid anymore.
Okay, yeah, I just don't want it to be too personal. I'm just wondering how you ended up in the situation that you were in. How did that happen to you?
Okay, what they do is like what they do in Broward County. They seek weak families, okay? So if you're put into juvenile court, if you're like, okay, I can give you a situation of my friend because I don't want to get too personal about myself just in case they seek. A friend of mine, a young girl, she had gotten in trouble many, many times. Her family was on drugs bad. So they took her for the best interest of the child out of the home. They found her a new home. And then it just goes from there. That's what they do in Broward County. It's exactly what happened to Nicholas Cruz. If you look at that guy's background, all paperwork leaves a trail. They find these kids through CPS. They find these kids even through 9/11 calls, okay, with dysfunctional families, whether it be domestic violence calls, and then they take that child out of the home. That's how it all starts. They look for dysfunctional families, and that's how the children get lost in the systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this sounds right to me.
It's a big, huge. It's absolutely correct. I've been through it. I've been through hell. And I'll tell you what, there is only one God, trust me, because I would not be alive today if it hadn't been for him saying things to me, not like you're talking to me. I'm talking. Look, I get things in numbers. If people knew what was going to happen, they would absolutely crap. I've written so many journals. And the thing is, the darkness that came to my back door, it's a new world behind that dark matter that was in front of my back door. America is going to suffer. And many, many nations will mourn her. I'm telling you, this is bad. They've made too much money off of this crap. I mean, think about it, that we're taken away from their lifeline. They really believe in this satanic bullcrap that they're doing. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. They're sick people. They put this crap out even on YouTube. They put the stuff in movies, for Christ's sakes. I mean, by the way, Hostel 2, it wasn't a movie, it was a documentary. These people are sick people.
So I have another question. Would you know where to show other people where to go, where this stuff's being done and where it can be infiltrated and stopped?
Absolutely not. When I had escaped, I was 14 years old. 14. And I've been blessed with a wonderful, wonderful family. That Greyhound bus ride it's a ride I'll never forget because I literally went with the clothes that I had on and I was stared at vulgarly like I was some disgusting filth of the earth. But you know what? When I made it here, I was found, I was adopted, and it's the greatest family I could have ever have asked for. Greatest family.
Well, I'm glad you were saved. That is a nice story, and it's fortunate you got to have a good ending, but it's horrible that you had to go through that. And actually, you're the second person who's called me today about this kind of abuse. The other person called me before the show on my private line and wanted to talk about it too. So yeah, there's people I'm sure that are listening right now who've gone through the same thing, and it really is terrible. It's just one more reminder of why this evil and this tyranny needs to be stopped, because it's impacting all of our lives, and in some a lot more traumatically than others. For example, your story versus my story. I mean, you've gotten a lot worse of the system than I have. So I appreciate that you're brave enough to call in and share. And I hope you call us back again. And yeah, it would be nice to figure out where this stuff's going on so we could show up and help bring an end to it and, bring some much needed justice. So.
Well, everything you want to know. If you want to know what's going to happen, everything has to come to pass. In the Bible, it has to come to pass. It all has to. And we're being ruined over pride. It's the pride of one sin. When the United States has crime, secret societies, cities full of violence, sin of adultery, they have provoked the Lord to jealousy, the Illuminati, the Hollywood, politician leaders. You know what God's number one question is? This is what God's number one question is. It's going to blow you away. It's so simple. I don't know why the whole world is so graphic. It literally says in my journal that he's asking why leaders wouldn't stand up for him. He's just wanting to know why leaders won't put God first. It used to be, it's on our currency. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand? We have to pray. It's all about prayer. That's all it is, love and prayer. The most simplest thing. But yet people make it so hard. I just hope and pray to God that everyone that just doesn't judge me out there in chat, I believe in only one God, and it sure as hell ain't Allah. He was a pedophile and he walked the earth. He's not a God. So thank you so much for your time. Pray for those children every day. They need prayers because prayers and numbers is more powerful. I mean, look up the mustard seed in the Bible. You know how small a mustard seed is? You take one small mustard seed, and that's one person in every single prayer, and you can move mountains. You really can. That's how big a prayer is. Just like that small little mustard seed. God said you could move mountains. So God bless you. Keep up your good work. And just pray.
I appreciate it, caller. You stay strong out there. Thanks for sharing your story tonight.
You too.
All right. You have a good evening.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. We got 5 minutes left. You know, just another reminder why things need to be done, you know, about the tyranny in this world. And that's the point I was making earlier. Even if we figure out how to escape this system's still doing awful things to people. And yeah, I'll just leave it there. Let's go out to Madison, Wisconsin.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, so this is what's going on. I had commented a couple times earlier. I'm buddies actually with Divine Weed. I wanted to give him a quick plug, a shout out. He's a brand new channel on YouTube. He's part of the Truth community. If there's anything that you guys want to see covered that you don't see or is lacking, throw it in the comments and we'll try and cover it. But I wanted to ask you, Zach, I'm a first-time caller here. If you could touch a little bit more on the tie-in between the WWE wrestlers and the Super Bowl. And then if I could back up for just a second before you answer that question. My buddy Divine Weed, he's trying to combine all these rabbit holes. So there's channels out there like Robert Anti-Fat and Trample on Snakes that have covered Saturn and the tie-in there. What is your opinion also? What creates this reality? Are these numbers part of the code that we've stumbled upon? Or is there something creating this code and we're able to pick up on that? If you could just elaborate a little bit more.
Okay, so first let me do your second question. So it definitely seems that there's like an organic numbers matrix in this world. So there's definitely an organic side. It seems that what the powers that shouldn't be are doing is they're manipulating that code. They're programming their numbers, their rituals, almost as if they're trying to rewire the organic matrix, if that makes sense. And as for the WrestleMania or Royal Rumble Super Bowl thing, 2 years ago, you had a wrestler from Boston beat a wrestler from Atlanta. That was the same year the Patriots beat the Falcons. Last year, you had the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia. Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. And this year, you had a main event between two women, and just check out where they're from. So you'll see. You'll see.
Well, so I said that it's going to be like Ronda Rousey, I believe, versus Becky Lynch.
Right.
And Ronda Rousey, her from Riverside, California, and Becky Lynch is from Dublin, Ireland. Do those equal?
Is it Dublin, Ireland, or does she represent some city here that's in the U.S.?
Let me.
So look into that, man. Check that out, because there's more there to it. Somebody passed the blurb on to me this week, and I was reading. I said, "Huh, that's really interesting." So you'll find what I'm talking about.
I hear you. I hear you. Is it like where they currently reside?
Yeah, like that.
Okay, I got you.
All right, caller. I appreciate it. I'm going to move on because we got 2 minutes left and a couple more people on hold. Take care, man. Call us back soon. You have a good night. All right, let's go out to Orlando, Florida.
Hello, Zach.
Hello.
Hi, this is Donna. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for calling.
Good. My pleasure. I'm glad I got through to you. I've talked to you before about Rise Together, and I know you said you checked into it a little bit, but every time I listen to it for the last week and a half, I'm like, I have to call you. I have to call you. And so I'm glad I got through tonight because a lot of what we're hearing is relative to what she's speaking about, Sydney K. Courier. And it's basically what it boils down to is that Sharia law the intention is to take over America with Sharia law. And there's already 2 people in our government now, just recently been voted in, are Islamic. And basically the statement is straight up about turning America and everything and everyone into Sharia law. And that, Americans may not be aware of that even what Sharia law is. But basically, it's just, I'll go really briefly, and I'd love for you to do some words on this because it's from the Quran, 434, and whatever. Just a couple of things. A non-Muslim man who marries a Muslim woman is punishable by death. A woman or girl who has been raped cannot testify in court against her rapist. Testimonies of 4 male witnesses are required to prove rape of a female. Quran 24:13. A woman or girl who alleges rape without producing 4 male witnesses is guilty of adultery. A woman or girl found guilty of adultery is punishable by death. It goes on and on. A man can marry a baby and consummate the marriage at 9 years old. Cindy K. Courier, Rise Together, Venezuela.
Caller, we're about to get cut off the air right now. Call us back next week. We'll be back, everybody. It's the end of the show. I'm sorry, we just ran out of show, so we're off the air.
Much love.
All right, you have a good night. Thank you.
Zach, is there any way I can give you a call and just fill you in on all this?
Yeah. Can you call me tomorrow though? Can you call me at 509-731-0567?
I have it in my phone already, hon. I will do that. I really want to fill you in on a couple things. I have a beautiful night. I love you. I love your work. I have some ideas to share with you, and I'll do it all tomorrow. Have a great night, hon.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a good night too. All right, truth seekers. It is the end of the show. I'm actually going to go do some overtime right now on my Patreon page because I still owe them a daily podcast. So if you're not signed up on the Patreon, it's $1 to get all the podcasts each month. I'm going to fire that up here, and I'll be over on Patreon in about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, appreciate everyone signing in. Please hit the like button if you didn't do so already. Not that it matters. YouTube will take it away by tomorrow, but it always helps the videos find other people. The more likes a video has, the more likely it's to show up in a stranger's feed. So thank you, everyone. Be back next Wednesday. We'll do these live streams on the TFR broadcast from now on. Till next time, Truth Seeker.